All right, and welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Redmond coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, and of course joined by my buddy Menders. Menders, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah,
Two
a
more
lot
weeks, we'll
of
find out what's up with the foot. So,
yeah. Well, we know what happened to your foot. That
no, no.
CMC broke it. Uh,
I just
no, it's
noticed your shirt, by the way.
oh yeah. Got a rocking the Victor analog today. One of our guys from Zero One.
Yep. I'm rocking my usual lazy booking shirt.
It's a fitting choice for what we're gonna do today, Menders, because we're gonna talk about some of Corny's favorites today, because this is going to be an AEW heavy episode. Uh,
Very.
yeah, and like I said, we mentioned it, and people are wondering, what do you mean you're gonna go through the whole talent? I have a list of the
We
entire
both have
roster.
lists.
Uh, and now I know what you're thinking. That's a big roster. It's going to be a 6-hour show. That's not the case. We're going to be careful and not get too carried away on some of these people because, frankly, there's some people I don't know that much about. But
Me either.
yeah, and also I'm going to point out in Menders, I'm going to hold you this. This isn't going to be a complete hatchet job. There's people that we like
There are people that we like.
in the locker room. It's the booking is where we have our primary cause with AEW.
I think
It's
that's
not the
our
ta-
biggest
it's
problem.
not the
It's
talent.
not the talent,
No.
although
Uh,
some of it's the talent, but not all of it.
well, yeah. Uh, well, before we get into that though, we both watched uh the Forbidden Door this past Sunday. Now, I usually give them
Watched it
kind of a
basically
pass
together.
on what's that?
Watched it basically together.
Basically, yeah, because they were always
Our little
messaging us
chat
with our
group
little
was
group of
going pretty
people,
good.
but yeah. So I have I usually give Forbidden Door a pass as far as like booking and everything because it's an attraction pay-per-view for the most part.
Yep.
It's all those putting all the New Japan guys with the AEW guys. And usually I don't really mind it so much. And it wasn't a bad show this weekend. Main event was kick ass
Yep.
with Danielson and Okada. For as much as we talk about Omega, that was a hell of a match he had with Osprey on
It
Sunday.
was. I will say that.
Hmm hmm And
More props go out to Brian Danielson though for
oh
him.
yeah, should I? So right before we went on, about maybe a half hour or so ago, I put on the JTR Facebook page the Instagram post that Bree put up from this, I guess was today. Now, Brian had said that his arm was fractured off an elbow drop
Yes.
by Okada. I'm calling bullshit here, and I think you are too. And you know a thing or two
I am
about
too.
broken bones, Menders. So do
I
I. We
do.
both we both had them. Uh, but look at this. So look at that. That is a broken arm. That is not a fracture. I
That's
don't know if
broke.
that's the ulna or the vulva or what bone it is. I'm not a scientist, but that is broken. And and he went 20 minutes on that broken bone. I think it was 10 minutes in when he got the break.
I think it was too because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a drink early during this match because I didn't want to miss hardly any of it. So I went to go get a drink early, and I remember coming back and asking the chat, "What happened to Danielson's arm because he can't use it?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, he wasn't using
And
it at all.
everybody's like, "Oh no, nothing." I'm like, "We don't think anything." I'm like, "Okay, there's
We
something
didn't.
going on there."
There was nothing. We didn't hear a break. We didn't really notice any. There was
No,
nothing like targeting the arm that we saw that would have caused it. But it's just one of those freak accidents that happens sometimes.
yep.
It's it's like when Kurt Angle broke Bob Holly's arm doing that moonsault back in I think 2000. The only difference was you could tell that it was broken when he landed on because you heard
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
I digress. Uh,
Okay,
so
Taz.
just to, what?
I said, "Okay, Taz."
Hey, speaking of Taz, Man, when well, as Danhausen goes, Jangle Man Jack Jerry turned on Hook on Sunday,
I saw that.
and man, Taz he made it made some good business out of that on commentary.
He fired up, man. He fired
Yeah,
up.
but
And then they
but
played it off really well too. I
where
liked
he
how they
stormed
played it
off,
off. So yeah, I
it
like how
was a
they
good
played that
touch.
off.
It was a nice touch that he walked off. I wish that Shivani didn't take over.
Eh, phew. Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you
didn't
what,
mind. Okay, are we going to talk about the announcers for this? Because I did not mind it at all.
I thought the
Somebody kept,
announcers,
yeah, Excalibur
uh,
sucked like normal, but
but Kevin Kelly was there and he kind of reined him in.
yes,
And then Taz was doing this Taz stuff. I told this to you guys in the chat. Tony Schiavone has turned into Don West on commentary. All you TNA fans from back in the day know what I'm talking about.
uh,
He adds nothing to the conversation. He's just there to
nothing at
yell when Sting
all.
comes out. You know, but anyway,
Look at
I
that!
really
Oh
like
my God, that's
pretty
all he
much.
says.
That's right, Excalibur. That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I
yeah.
liked was the announce team on the pre-show. It was Excalibur again, but like I said, they kind of controlled him a little bit. Then it was Kevin Kelly and a guy named Chris Charlton, Kevin and Chris do the New Japan broadcast in
Okay,
English, and
okay.
Chris is just an encyclopedia of Japanese wrestling. He knows everything. I think he wrote a book about the Tokyo Dome that I read.
Oh wow,
Like every show at the Tokyo Dome up until like one of the Wrestle
jeez.
Kingdoms. And yeah, I wish he would have stayed on the entire show because there's a lot of those Japanese talent that was on that a good portion of the AEW audience probably never heard of.
Oh, there was some of them that I'd never heard of and until now. And
Right.
that's it's not a knock on it. It's just
No,
I with as much wrestling as I watch already, I can't add another I can't add another promotion to it.
no, and I understand that. They had 14 between the pre-show and the main card. They had 14 matches Sunday. They could have
Yeah,
easily cut that, maybe not in half, but maybe a little less than half, and had like I know they had to cut the Adam Cole, I almost said Brian Lawler. That's Brian Christopher, Tom Lawler match because I
yeah.
guess Adam was ill, and they put Lawler on a dark match against Serpentico, and man, I would have put him
Oh
in.
jeez.
I would have had him show up in it. Like they had enough multi-man matches, they could have found a spot for him.
Roddy.
I should start muting when I have
Roderick.
to do that.
Roderick.
Yes, Lawler and Roddy. We talked about that too.
We did.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah. So there was plenty of good stuff. Tanahashi and MJF was a fun match. Tanahashi was getting a lot of hate on social media. I don't get it. I mean, he's an older guy, but they actually did a pretty good job, especially Kevin Kelly covering for him when he was having the issues getting on the top rope
Yeah,
because he pointed out that in New Japan they have the boxing style corner pads where it's like the one
right.
big piece instead of the turnbuckles, which is what he's used to. So that they put it over that he was having trouble getting used to the different ring, which is
Which makes sense.
why he fell. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. You won't get that
Makes
from
perfect sense.
Excalibur. You get that from
No,
that's what you got Kevin Kelly there for.
exactly.
Which is also
But
another
yeah,
reason why I like Collision as much as I do right now. These first two episodes, Kevin and Nigel on commentary.
yes. I was gonna say between that and let's see, I like the MJF match. I could have done without the Daniel Garcia.
Oh, the four-way with
Uh,
pockets.
yeah, the four with pockets.
Well, they they were going to put pockets in a big match on that show. He's
Yeah, I
he's Tony's
know.
boy, but I would have preferred to just have a Saber Junior Shibata match.
Please give me that
Love those guys.
anytime. I will gladly watch that. But it was like you had Shibata and you had Zack Sabre Jr., which were legit guys in there going
Hmm.
at it, actually beating the crap out of each other. Well, technically. And then that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, But then you had Daniel Garcia going in there and doing all his little dancing moves, and I'm like, God, you remind me of Alex Wright so much right now. It's kind of annoying.
He had a lot of
And I
Alex
loved
Wright.
Alex Wright. I loved Alex Wright too. And
I didn't,
geez,
but I understand why the girls liked him.
we liked him.
Uh-huh. But oh, man. Oh,
There you
Bari
go.
putting
Pockets is the
over putting over.
workhorse of AEW. He's not wrong. He really isn't.
Well,
I
no,
just wish it was somebody else.
he's definitely the fightingest champion in AEW right now. And
Yeah.
MJF has only defended like 2 or 3 times. FTR, I don't think has had a title defense yet since they won, which I don't
Nope.
get. I mean, I know they got one coming up with Gin and Juice. I think is it this week on Dynamite?
Gin and juice. I love the fact you're calling them that now.
It's regardless, it's a good name for a tag team.
It is. It is.
Jin White,
Is
Juice
it this week?
Robinson. I think it
Jay
is.
White?
And I love
I'll
Jay
double
White.
check.
You know I'm a Switchblade guy. But
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, though. I was excited about Jay White, and you know how I feel about Juice.
uh-huh.
I hardly ever call Juice because I remember him in NXT.
Yeah,
But
that's the
he's
tree
growing
hugging
on
hippie.
me. Yeah, CJ Parker.
I love Juice. He's one of my
But man,
favorite New Japan guys.
he's grown a lot since when I used to see him back in the NXT. He's grown leaps and bounds from what he used to be. So they've caught my attention. They've caught my attention definitely. I don't immediately want to jump off of AEW as soon as I see them come on. I'm like, what are they gonna do?
No.
But
And I do have a soft spot for Bullet Club in general. I've
yeah,
been curious to see what they're gonna do with this Bullet Club Gold stuff.
I
Excuse me.
guess we'll
For those that
find
don't
out,
know, I have a little
hopefully.
frog in my throat. Well, you said you haven't gotten to watch the
I haven't seen Collision
from
yet this
Saturday.
week. Yeah.
Will you hate me if I give you a spoiler?
No, go right ahead. That's fine.
The Guns have joined Bullet Club Gold.
Oh, son of a. Maybe I am mad at you now. The Guns, huh?
Yeah, solid match. Gin and Juice and the Guns against Punk, FTR, and Ricky. No big
Okay.
shock. Ricky ate the pin. So
Hey, AJ has a point. I guess he has a point
he's
there.
got a
He
good
knows a lot
point
of the
here.
news.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
the AEW and New Japan crossover there wasn't anything between Jay White and David Finlay. Yeah, I mean they're both Bullet Club, but there's business there because when Jay White lost the match to Kingston, where he couldn't wrestle for New Japan anymore, when he was making his like big farewell, Finlay came out and brained him with a shillelagh and basically kicked him out of Bullet Club, or so I thought. Then of course when he comes to AEW, Tony's like, "And we're gonna put you in Bullet Club." It didn't like he doesn't watch New Japan to know that
Thanks, Florida.
Jay was Florida Tony and his flying
Thanks, Florida
circus.
Tony.
Yeah, and AJ, yeah, both are heels too, so there's that. But they can have two alpha heels fight each other.
Yeah. Well, especially in a situation like this. Like I get it, but this only happens so far. Only happens once a year. So they can have. I feel like heels and baby faces just get should be completely overlooked in this situation.
Yeah, because there's a grudge there. There's beef.
Yeah.
So all right.
What are you trying to figure out?
Who, me? Oh, nothing. I'm just getting my list up. I'll get my list up on my phone.
Okay.
All right. So we've taken
It's on the
15
side of
minutes out of the start of the show to talk about Forbidden Door, Collision, all that stuff. We have a lot of people to discuss, Menders. So why do you say we get to it?
Okay.
Because I know you can't wait.
Are we actually going in alphabetical order? Because that will make me chuckle.
Until we get to the tag teams, like we're gonna go
Okay.
singles guys alphabetically, and
Okay.
yeah.
So I may have to do a little jumping around. We're good because I didn't get that. I didn't get that tag team list until what? 45 minutes ago.
That's my fault. I thought I had that all figured out everything.
That's all right.
All right. Let me get
Okay,
there.
where are we
I've got
starting at?
pictures. I got
Oh, you
pictures
got
to
pictures?
accompany.
Oh boy.
All right.
You know what? That might help a lot with a lot of these people,
Right.
honestly.
True. And enough for nothing. If the FBI ever looks at my phone or my computer, sees all these shirtless dudes in my photo history, in my search history, and all that, I might be have some explaining to do because some of these pictures are
Maybe.
only from like the waist up. So I don't know. But digressing. All right. So first
Yeah.
up, and when you're going to start this list, you got to start with a big name, Menders. And I don't think there's
We're
one
starting
bigger.
with a big name.
Aaron
Okay.
Solo, right there. Man,
All I'm gonna say is, AJ or Bari, I'm stealing a line from you. Who? I know he was
oh
with
man,
QT and all that, and
still is. He's
Solo.
basically
I
QT's
know.
laughing idiot.
Oh, is he?
I mean,
Yeah, that's about all I
it's
got for him.
all they've got for, and there's a few people on this list who all they have for them is to be QT's first through sixth banana, and they don't. And I'm sure Solo's a decent enough worker, but they don't let him do it. They just have him following QT around like a laughing idiot.
Yeah.
And just the QTV thing in general is awful enough.
So terrible.
But yeah,
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We're not there yet. We just
is
started.
AJ
We're
jumping
not
the gun?
there yet. Yeah.
Now some of those guys aren't actually on here. Agogo isn't on the list just because I think he's actually done with the company. Camarado is on there. We'll get to him eventually. But like I said, some of these people we're going to not spend a lot of time on, and Aaron Solo fits the bill there, so we're going to
Yep.
take
Bye.
him out. All right, so no
This
Mo
one we might
Solo.
spend a little time on. This next
Yeah,
one we
this
might
one.
spend a little time
Yeah,
on.
yeah. All right, here we go. Hangman Adam
Hey,
Page
well, that
from
wasn't who
the
I thought
Elite.
was next, but okay.
Oh, we're not going tag teams with the singles. I'm going.
I don't know what you're doing, but that's not who's number 2 on my list, but okay.
Who's number 2 on your list? I'm just curious.
Cole. You
Oh
have
wow,
Cole on number 2
my
on my list.
okay. Oh, that's why the thing saved under Adam underscore Cole, so they put him behind Page.
Oh, okay.
We can do that though.
That's
Hang
fine.
on. There he
We'll
is. There
just
we
there
go.
we go.
Adam
Just
Cole,
flip them.
baby. There we go.
There we go. That's
We'll flip him.
better. Good,
All
because
right.
I wanted a happy one before we got to the other one.
Now I think we both. I like Adam Cole in general.
I do too. I do too.
When he was in NXT, he was one of my favorite parts of
Yep.
the show. When he was in Ring of Honor, he was one of my favorite parts of the show.
And what he's doing
Barry,
right
hang
now
on.
with MJF.
I'm going to hold that thought, Barry, until we move on back to Hangman Page. Damn corny. Uh,
Hangnail.
Menders, I think you and I agree. I'm worried for the health and safety of Adam Cole at this point.
Yeah. Well,
The
in fact,
promos are
we were
good.
yeah, and we were talking about like our little comments we would put next to it. My comment next
Uh-huh.
to it is he's great if he can stay healthy and put some weight on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
got to stay
Barry
healthy.
chiming in. He's lost so much weight. Yeah, and that's because of the time off. And I've said
Yeah.
this before to our little group, and when Adam Cole was in NXT, he had the benefit of having the PC right there and being able
Right.
to stay in shape. With
Where now he
AEW,
doesn't have
Tony,
to.
everybody's kind
Yeah.
of on the honor system. And yeah, I know he missed a lot of time with, I think, was concussions and I think a shoulder injury. So it might take a little bit of time to get back into the groove of it, but then he should have. He shouldn't be in the main event picture yet. He should be working his way back up, getting back in ring shape. The
Yeah, but then
MJF
you're going
match
to
was.
lose his star power. You're going to lose his star power though if you wait too
I
long.
don't
People
think
are going.
I
I think
don't.
people.
I wouldn't worry about that with Cole. He's got the charisma, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
Plus, he's always there for Tony when he needs to make an announcement.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Tony Khan, baby.
Oh, shut up. Thanks,
Oh my
guys.
goodness.
What is it
Hi.
now? Hey, everyone. Hi.
You can't tell me he doesn't listen to the Cornette's podcast because
No
as soon as
kidding.
they started getting shit for thanks guys, he switched it.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Now Adam Cole,
Alright.
I do think he's going to be a world champion before too long, just for name, mainly for name value. But
Yeah.
I hope he gets back in shape. He needs. I hope with Roderick Strong there, I hope he can kind of get him on track because Roddy, he's always been in great shape. You know, he's lost
Yep.
some. He's slimmed down, but he's always been in ring shape. And I'd like to see him kind of help Cole get his groove back, if you will. You know,
And hopefully he will. Hopefully he will.
and and for
Well,
the
and
love of
hopefully, I mean, he's got because isn't Kyle still there too? And we'll talk about him later
he's
too. But
he's still there. He's still hurt,
he's still
but
hurt. But
for the love of all that's holy, if Cole takes another tombstone on the ring apron, I'm gonna go down to Florida and slap him in the face myself.
I will help you. I will drive.
Oh,
You ready? We're going.
yeah. Uh, Gary, by the way, our buddy Gary Vasilio, he messaged me today. I guess he just finally got around to watching Forbidden Door, and couldn't get over how dumb that friggin' Tiger Driver was that Osprey did on Omega, and that was full blown
Ugh,
Masawa Tiger Driver.
that was ridiculous.
It
That
really
was
was.
ridiculous. Because as soon as I think I was like, I know I jumped right in the chat at that point. I was like,
Oh
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
hell was that?
friggin'. And
I'm like, I
that's what
don't
Gary
even
said. So
like
stupid.
Omega, and I was worried. Like, I don't even like him, and I was
Oh,
worried about him.
people we don't like, we can still worry about their safety. We're
Yeah,
not
I do. I don't want
monsters.
to see anybody get, not a complete total monster. I don't want to see somebody
No,
be paralyzed or anything like that. But
not even B.A. Malkin for all you 01 fans listening to this.
not even B.A. Malkin, even though he hates me, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's a begrudging respect, maybe on both
Yeah,
ends.
that's what it is. I think it is too.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
see.
see. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see. So
yeah.
we'll talk more about
Uh,
that tomorrow.
all right. Well, let's move on from Adam Cole. Like I said, I think we speak generally positively about Cole. Let's just we
Yeah.
want to see more out of Cole. You
Yes.
know. All right. So speaking of Adams that were in the Bullet Club and Ring of Honor, we'll go to there we go. Now we're gonna
Yeah.
get to Hangman Page here.
Oh,
And
hangnail.
yeah. Uh let's see. Oh, Bari already had an opinion. I had to wait to put it on because we moved on to
Yeah.
Cole. Worst AEW
Yeah.
champion so far. I agree.
I,
Uh work I don't want to say work rate rise. I was a big fan of Adam Page in Ring of Honor New Japan when he was in the Bullet Club. Now they put glittery butterflies on his pants and he's an anxious millennial cowboy. And I'm not gonna poop on mental health, but calling yourself an anxious millennial cowboy isn't a way to come off like a tough guy.
no. All I have for my notes is F Adam Page. I don't like him. I've never liked him. I didn't like him when everybody else did like him. I've never liked him.
he
I
kind of
think
got
he's too full of himself, just his attitude. Like I kind of feel like he doesn't want to, I don't know. And maybe this has a lot to go with the CM Punk stuff, but
maybe,
it's
yeah.
like, but still, no, and he has his his lariat or whatever that he does
The
that he doesn't
buckshot
even
lariat.
he's yeah, the buckshot
He doesn't
lariat.
do it as crisp as he
It's
used
not
to.
even the best one. It's not even the best one in wrestling right now. Because the best one in wrestling, Logan Paul does right now.
Yeah, I'm an anxious millennial too, but I'm
That's
not trying to
true.
get over as a wrestler.
At least not in
Well,
real life.
that's what the cats are for, to help you
Right.
deal with the anxiety.
Right.
All right. Well, yeah. So this whole elite stuff, putting back with the elite was smart because I never understood him with the Dark Order. It just
Well,
made no sense to me.
this
I'm
is
not
what
going
I
to get
think
you.
it was with the Dark Order. Was
They
with
needed a
I even called. Did
Brody.
you notice I said the Dark Order? Yeah, they
I
needed a new
noticed. Very
Brody.
good.
They needed a new Brody.
Yeah. Mr. Zero or Player Uno wasn't going to be their flagship
No.
guy. If
No.
they were smart, they would have put Danhausen as the leader of the Dark Order.
I really thought Matt Hardy was going to be part of the Dark Order at one point,
Uh,
but
remember when everybody was saying it was going to be Bray?
yeah, I remember that too.
They could be so lucky.
Yeah,
Let it be Tony's problem for a while.
right. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. All right. Guy that just came back a couple weeks ago, Minders. El
Mm-hmm.
Idolo himself, Andrade.
Yep.
And he has looked damn good the last couple weeks. So you didn't watch the match Saturday. He wrestled Brody King on Collision.
I did not see him wrestle
So,
Brody King, but
it was a solid match. The match with Buddy Matthews, though, two
the
weeks ago.
match with Buddy. Wait a minute, or as the ring announcer said, Buddy Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Muscle memory. There were a
but
couple of
yeah,
issues on that first show on the announcer side. But
there was
yeah,
a
Buddy
few.
Murphy.
That's okay. Buddy Murphy.
I bet Tony didn't even
Um,
notice.
right. But yeah, that was a really good match. I liked how they did that. I liked how they built it. I'm kind of liking
Psychology.
where the stories go. I know. We never get psychology. And it was nice to see a match with psychology in it. It was great.
Yes. I like that Andrade had a great. He really did have he had a very underrated NXT title run when he was in
Yeah.
NXT. He
He
beat
was
Drew
underrated a
clean.
lot. I know, and he was underrated a lot though in WWE in my
They
opinion.
could have done so much more with him there. They could do so much more with him here. But hopefully, if
Yeah.
he's going to be mainly on Collision, he'll get a chance to have those big, really good matches and not have to worry about dealing with Jose the assistant or Roosh and Los Ingobernables, whatever they're called in AEW.
Whatever.
La Facción
We'll get to them.
Ingobernable or something like that.
We'll get to them later too.
You'll get to them. All right. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Andrade, and I'm glad he's back. And I'm glad he's having good matches and he's healthy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
plus using the figure eight as a finish, that's a nice little tweak to his offense.
I'm waiting for Buddy to use the riptide. So
Well, he used the condo clutch during that
yeah, I
match,
saw
that
that.
inverted cloverleaf that Rhea does.
Yep.
But yeah, I can see
It's
him doing
nice to
the
know that their ladies are taking care of them.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm taking
Who
several
we
sips
got
because I've got
next?
this dry, froggy thing in my throat. That's why I'm coughing here and
Yeah,
there. All right.
you're
For
good.
next up, the South African Angelico, formerly with shit, I forget the name of the tag team with Jack Evans, but now he's a member of the Spanish Announce Project with Luther and Serpentico. Uh, and we'll get to Luther later on. But
I okay.
the
AJ
guy's a
might
hell of a wrestler.
AJ
He's
will
a
probably
great
agree with
submission
me.
wrestler.
I miss Lucha Underground and Helico.
Now, see,
Him and
I
Lucha
didn't watch a lot
Underground
of
was
Lucha Underground.
oh, it was so good. He was so good at
I don't
Lucha
think I got the
Underground.
chance. I didn't get the channel, so I never got to watch it. So I got to go do some research
AJ,
on Angelico.
he needs to borrow your DVDs. AJ has like the first 3 seasons of Lucha on DVD, so
Okay,
you need to steal it from him.
maybe.
But
Or
yeah,
maybe
because they
they
used to
might be on
be
YouTube also.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure they probably are.
The
Oh, the
Hybrid 2.
hybrid.
Thank you, AJ. The Hybrid
Yeah,
2. They look like
but he was
uh, bicyclists in their neon green bodysuits. Which
because see back in Lucha Underground, and Helico was with Son of Havoc and Evilise, and they were a
okay,
triple. They were a triple tag. They were trios tag. They were
okay,
actually they were the first trios champions for Lucha. So it
okay,
was
okay.
they were really good. Whenever Angelico came out, you always knew that something crazy was going to happen. Whether he was jumping
Yeah.
off the office or whatever, it was going to be
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Well, he's a good catch wrestler too. Like doing he can shoot if you need him to. Like doing the submissions and all
Hmm.
that also. But
Sure
yeah,
can.
it's one of those. It's one of the things. I don't know why Tony feels like everybody has to get wedged into a group. And some of these guys will get by just fine on their own, or you know. And I don't mind like back in the day when managers would have multiple wrestlers, but they wouldn't team up. They would just manage them separately. You know what I mean? And every now and
Well,
then they would team up in a group.
or kind of like yeah, like where you'd have or you'd have a tag team, a main eventer,
Hmm.
maybe a women's champ, and
Maybe
then
a
one
mid
person
Carter.
to go after to do the intercontinental type stuff. And then sometimes you'd have a lackey, but see, I changed their name. They're not a jobber anymore. They're a lackey.
There you go. A fall guy, we could call him. Shout out
A
to
fall
Robert
guy.
Conrad. Love that
Yeah,
show.
that's true. Evil East did climb the ladder and pulled down the belts with a broken freaking leg.
Damn,
Yeah, you'll have
tough,
to see
tough,
that.
tough,
If
bruh.
I find it,
Did she break her leg in
yeah.
the match, or was she just
I think it was prior to that.
prior
But
to the
she was
match?
wrestling on yeah, well, it might have been like a couple. I'm trying to remember. I was thinking it was like the match before or something like that, like cuz it
Uh,
was a tournament that they were in. So I want to say it was the
oh,
match
okay,
before, but
okay.
I can't remember. But she had a boot on her foot the entire time. So,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah, let's check that out. Uh, all right. Well, shall we move on further down into the A's?
let's do that.
All right. Here's a guy that they just brought in, I think this year, who I'm actually very
I'm
high on. But
Did
let
you
me
know
see,
you
AR
missed Alex
Fox.
Reynolds, by the way?
No,
You're
he's.
skipping purple.
I've got Alex teamed up with Silver. They're going to be the tag team list.
Uh, good lord. Okay.
Johnny Hungy.
Johnny Hungy. All right.
All right.
AR Fox.
AR
I'm
Fox.
surprised you don't have him with a tag team because seems like here lately that's what he's been doing. So,
Well, that's just by convenience because Dante's hurt.
yeah,
But
that's true too.
AR
I
Fox, this is another guy I want to see as a single doing this thing because he is so good. Uh,
He's better
Too
on
high
his
flyer.
own.
Yeah.
He's
Uh,
doing what he can with where he's at right now, but
which sadly is the case for a lot of people in AEW as far as the booking goes.
right.
AJ, fun
Fun
fact,
fact,
and I actually did know this. AR Fox trained Austin Theory. That is true. It shows you can see a lot of similarities in their styles. With
you can.
like when Theory does the somersault through the ropes into the dropkick, that's got AR Fox written all over it. Uh, the
Yep.
guy looks good. He's in great shape. Uh, he wrestles a style that belies his age. He's a little bit older, not old, or anything, but he's like late 30s, I think, early 40s. AJ,
Really?
fact checker AJ, if you'll check on that for me, make sure I'm not wrong. Uh, putting our voice to work here. But I'm not going to get too deep into this because he hasn't done much in AEW so far. But
Not yet. He hasn't. I
he
was
could very easily be in that Scorpio Sky position where Scorpio was at
yeah.
before he got hurt. And we'll get the
Right.
Scorpio later on, but yeah. So we'll move on from Fox, but yeah, another guy we're high on. This guy, Aria Davari, the Trust Busters or the Varsity Athletes, whatever group he's in now. Uh,
Yeah. Whatever. They're in now.
solid,
You.
solid hand in the ring, but another guy. They're just wedged him into a group and
Yep.
part of
That's all
the
he does.
AEW Dark Limbo Club.
Yeah. Have fun with that dark limbo club. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, he can work. I mean, I think he's a guy that's going to benefit from Ring of Honor being around. I think that's where he's going
I
to get
hope
most
so.
of his time in.
I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with all of this, with Collision and with. I know not so much with Collision, but with at least the Ring of Honor, that you're going to get a lot of these guys, the quote unquote mid card but strong
Say
guys.
say lower mid card, I would say.
Yeah.
But
But
but yeah, but
yeah.
Fox is another one that we just talked about. AR Fox, he's another one that could do that, and Helico could benefit
And
from.
Helico,
Or-
there's there's a good group of them that could do that.
oh
There's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
group of them.
yeah. All right, well we'll move on here. Here's a guy, same deal, and this is going to be a common theme. Gets thrown into a group. This guy was a freaking former world champion and a hell of a worker. crazy strong,
Hasn't he been on
can
JTR
fly.
before?
No, no. We had Gringo Loco on. Very different.
Gringo. No, I thought you had Bandito on.
We haven't had Bandito on. That are
No. Who's it?
I'd love to have Bandito on, but it might be a language barrier in the interview process
Might
there.
be.
So,
Might
uh,
be.
uh but yeah, I mean, the guy had a match with Jericho on Dynamite, and then gets put in tag teams with Pockets and with
Yeah.
shit,
The
the Lucha Brothers,
the Puddin' Gang
Felix and Penthouse.
and Felix and Penthouse. We're
Uh,
terrible. You realize this, right?
oh, I know. It's we listen to too much Cornette.
That's probably it,
He
actually.
he's a
Actually, you
bad
can't listen to
influence.
too much Cornet. You can't listen to
That's
too much
true.
Cornet.
All right.
What
But
what we got
Bandito,
next?
I mean,
I don't know a lot about
I'm,
Bandito except for what you've told me about him. So
well, I'm just gonna say this about Bandito. He could easily be in that TNT picture if they wanted to be, but he'd be better in the. I'd like to see him with Claudio, honestly, for the ROH title. I mean, he's a former world champion. He never lost the title because he wound up when COVID happened. I think he went back to Mexico, and when Ring of Honor went on hiatus. So yeah, that I'd be fine with that. Just oh,
that'd be
yeah, the 21 plex. That's speaks out German that he does is really sharp. It's I don't know. There's some stuff those luchadors do that just boggles the logic of science with what you can do with your body, you know. But you
I just
can't
had
do
a
it the whole
thought.
match. Uh-oh.
Right.
I mean,
You
yes.
didn't put him on here. I'm
Who?
surprised you didn't put him on here.
Who?
Oh, Vikingo.
Well, he's not under contract.
You don't have. Oh, okay. I don't mind
You're
watching
talking about
him just because I've
Vikingo.
seen
Just
him.
I like Vikingo as long as he don't keep
Hmm.
bouncing his head off the apron when he does his 630s. But no, he's not under contract at AEW. He just shows up every now and then.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, here we go. We're into the B's, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. We talked about
Well,
Bandito, but we're out of the
yay!
A's.
We made it to the bees.
All right. And look at this guy. Big
He
Bill.
looks as bad as Tony Khan. See? It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah. Uh, Big Bill. I mean, I can't call him Big Bill with a straight face. That's such a stupid
I can't
name.
either.
I mean, I know Bill's technically his name. His name's William Morrissey, but W. Morrissey wasn't
Can
much
we put
better. But at least he had a last name.
Big Cass was fine. Man, I know
Well,
that's
uh,
copyrighted, but still,
well, yeah,
Big
it's
Cass was
intellectual property.
fine.
I think he was Kaz XL or something, and on the Indies before he went to Impact.
Yeah.
Man, he's a good athlete. I thought he was a damn good athlete. He's in better shape now than he was in WWE. Uh,
Yep.
he was he was almost kind of like a. I know he wasn't because he's huge, but he was a string bean in WWE. He was just a big dude. But now he's cut. He's in shape. He's got the guns out. You know.
Yep.
AJ chiming in. There's not even an Enzo and Big Bill reunion. I hate to imagine what they would name Enzo in AEW, but
Well, can't
but
he do
no,
Enzo like that?
I suppose he could. He probably would, but yeah, it's.
He probably would.
I'd be okay with it if they brought Enzo in, get him away from Stokely and the firm,
Good luck.
because here's the thing, he would make actually, and I had a thought today. He's make for a great heater for somebody, like a bodyguard, but not for. I like Lee Moriarty. I do not like them as a team. That they don't. I don't think they gel. Moriarty's a hell of a
Don't
worker.
no chemistry. Yeah, no
No
chemistry.
chemistry. But if you put him, and I was thinking maybe if he hooked up with like a Jack Perry now as his bodyguard, Jack can be the slimy little wimpy heel and have the big guy. Like
I think Jack's gonna. Oh, okay, we'll talk about it here in a minute.
we'll
I
talk
have,
about
I
Jack when we
have,
get to the Jays.
I have thoughts. I have thoughts. I have
Okay.
thoughts on what they're gonna do with Jack.
How long should I keep this picture up before
Can you
you've
take it
had
down?
enough?
Because it's starting to creep me out.
All right. All right. Big Bill is off the table here, and we will move on.
Okay.
All right. Daddy ass, Billy Gunn. How he still looks like he did when he was in his 30s, when he's in his mid 50s, is just
I think he
remarkable.
looks better now. Is it just me? I think he looks more
Well,
cut now than he did then.
yeah, well, also look who he's in the ring with.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Gunn is built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
You know, he's all due respect to Juice Robinson, he's rock hard, big muscly guy.
Or-
I know it means a different thing than what juice means, but
but yeah,
but
Billy.
yeah,
I mean,
Billy is doing his thing
I
with the
still have heat with
acclaimed.
Billy. So
I know you have heat with
yeah, but
Billy.
I have heat with Billy
Uh,
for saying his catchphrase in 2 generations. AJ's got a
that's
point.
very true. He really does. Oh
Because
my
you had
god.
suck it and now you have scissor me.
Uh-huh. Not just that scissor me daddy ass.
Yeah, scissor
Uh,
me, daddy ass.
oh, jeez.
Ugh,
The patriarch of the
jeez.
ass boys, who we'll get to later. Uh, Still works like he did back in the day. Nothing. He hasn't changed his style, and he hasn't had to. Uh-oh, I think Mender's froze. She'll be back shortly. This always happens. I don't know why. Oh, oh, Barry, is that what Billy still owes Menders with interest for the botched meet and greet? Oh, Menders, you never sounded better. Well, let me see here. And, well, I'll move on to the next guy because I don't think Menders will want to talk about him. Look at this fucking guy, Brandon Cutler. Cutlet, as he's called in some schools. Basically, all he is the second banana of the Young Bucks. He used to wrestle. Now he's just the spray can guy with the broken nose that hasn't healed in 3 years.
Oh, it's Cutlet.
Uh-huh. I'm I'm trying to get through Cutlet as quickly as I can. There's not a lot to talk about with him. He's
He's an
the
idiot.
capable third banana of the elite,
Mm,
just barely a
yeah,
step above Nakazawa.
barely.
Uh,
And
yeah,
apparently, I
barely.
need to
Yeah.
go back and see the face that my computer froze on. Apparently, it's quite
Oh,
humorous.
oh, it was pretty silly.
I'm sure it was.
Uh,
I'm still here.
I'm
Sorry. I
going.
gotta I gotta reset
Oh,
everything
yeah.
up here.
Oh, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
so we're to
Well,
Cutlet. Okay.
over to Cutlet. Look at that handsome devil.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
I,
he's
I,
got the
I,
Bill Lambier broken nose.
mhm. I don't know much
But
about
yeah, less
Cutlet
said about
except
Cutlet,
for
the
what I've
better.
heard. So
I
yeah,
don't either. Now, and he does nothing. So he's if he
yeah.
was on Star Trek, he'd be wearing a red shirt.
So he just runs the camera for the
So
elite, doesn't he? Isn't that all he does?
and he sprays them down with their cold spray when they're hurt.
Okay.
I don't want to ask what he does like in the locker room. Do they need
I
massages or
don't.
somebody
I.
to watch?
We're not even going there, Mark. We're not
No,
going
let's
there.
let's not.
Oh, did I miss?
All right, but
Did I miss one while we were gone? While I was gone?
no, no,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
All right, so we will move on though, because we don't have much to say about old Brandon Cutler. This guy,
Nope.
the Machine, Swolverine, Brian Cage. Ugh,
You know, you
I don't.
messaged me back. well, not last Dynamite before, and said that Marge had messaged you and said, "Why does Cage look like he was built for Blade or something like that?"
Yeah, he looked
And when,
like a road warrior.
yeah, it, uh, I don't know. I've Cage is always. I always thought they could do more with Cage. I really did, and I
Yeah,
don't know if that was because of
and
him or if that was because of, like, if was it background that was causing the problem or what, or his opinions or whatever. I always felt like they
yeah,
were
I
missing
don't know.
something with Cage, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure because he's built like $1 million. Crazy athlete. Uh, Not the strongest promo in the business, which I mean that's why they got him with Nana. But
We don't have to be the strongest promo in the business, in all honesty. If you have a good voice box or good voice piece,
mouthpiece, voice
yeah,
piece.
that's it. Voice piece. I made a new word. Shut up. Nope.
We still don't know what this was
No,
a couple weeks
we
ago
don't.
on the old Dynamite. It and yeah, it just looked ridiculous. It's so Cage, another
Oh
guy.
boy.
I think he's basically relegated to Ring of Honor these days with the Gates of Agony doing the trios thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another one of the
And
guys
the
they could do
occasional
more with.
pop up on
Vince McMahon.
Vince would
I'm
have loved
surprised he
Cage.
hasn't tried to get snap him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at his muscles, pal. You know that
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of business here. All right, let me get back my list here. I got sidetracked here,
Thanks,
but
AJ. Thanks, AJ.
yeah,
He sent me a picture of how my computer froze. Thanks, AJ.
yes, he's so helpful.
He's so
All
helpful.
right,
I love
so
our fact checker.
yes, yes. All right, so let's move on. I'm chalking this guy up to a guy who I wish they would do more with because he's so good. Pillman Jr.
They missed
Uh,
so much with him. They missed so much
yeah,
with him. They could have done so much with him
yeah.
when
I was
everything
never a
was
fan of the
with his
Varsity
dad and
Blondes.
nope.
Uh, I would like to see him as a single if they were going to put him in a tag team, and we'll talk about him in a minute. He did a match with he teamed up with Brock Anderson on I think
I
it was Flair's last
I was
match.
just gonna say, I think he should be with Brock Anderson.
And but it makes sense. They're both second generation horsemen, you know. They could be and they made it for a darn good tag team in that match. I forget who they wrestled, but they
Yeah.
they stuck out. They were good. Uh Pillman can do all the stuff his dad did. He's got a good charisma to him. Cuts a good promo.
Yeah.
AJ, that's who should be getting Jungle Boy's push. No, I can't argue with it.
Nope, I can't either.
He's got, yeah, he can outwork Jungle Boy, probably out promo Jungle Boy, and I think he makes a more effective heel than Jungle Boy. I'm assuming. I've only let's see what Jack
We've only
does,
seen
but
Jungle Boy and say we'll have to see what Jack does.
yeah,
But
because Pillman I've
I
seen as a heel
that
in
they
MLW.
right, well, and they just missed such a prime opportunity where they could have pushed him for, shoot, the TNT title. It wouldn't
Yeah,
have had to have been the championship. Let him have the TNT title.
yeah,
No,
I agree with you.
can't do that.
Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid.
All right, yeah,
Stupid Florida Tony.
Florida Tony indeed. All right.
Yep,
So, well,
AJ's
speaking
right.
of, oh, hang on, what do you say? They could have pushed him to the moon after the Dark Side of. Yeah, they could have taken
Yep.
full advantage of having a Pillman episode of the Dark Side of the Ring. Excuse me. But all right, let me adjust my overlays here. We're gonna move on from Pillman. I think we both agree that he's a missed opportunity there, and also a
Yep.
damn nice guy. I met him at the expo. He got a kick. I had the Brian Pillman football jersey, and he got a kick out of that. So
I think I was standing in line for Christian when you went and saw Brian Pillman.
Yeah, it was me and Stacy were over by Pillman when you guys were doing your thing for a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on here, we just talked about Brock Anderson. Uh, Man, he looks like his
That's
dad.
not a great picture of him there.
Not a great picture, but he does look like his dad with more hair.
Yeah,
Uh,
he looks like his dad back in the day.
yeah, oh yeah. That's kind of how we talk about Thomas Billington from the Billington Bulldogs looking like dynamite back in the day.
Yeah.
But Brock's a good athlete, solid wrestler. I mean, he takes after his dad. He doesn't do the flashy stuff, which you don't have to. Uh, I think
But
he
I
would
guess they're
benefit
putting him
from
with
being.
Wardlow now. Is that what's going on?
Well, I think a loose affiliation because Arn was coaching Wardlow. I don't think they're teaming up or anything. Like I said, I want to see him team with Pillman. I think
Yeah.
Brock is the guy that would benefit from being in a tag team. And
He needs some help with somebody that
he doesn't have the
has some a little
personality.
bit more experience. Right.
Yeah, if Pillman could be the personality of the team, then Brock could be the workhorse.
Yep. I'm fine
But
with that.
I don't
Let's
know a
do
whole
that.
lot. What?
I
Eh,
said that I'm
forward
fine
to
with that. Let's do that.
forward to Tony if you're listening. Make that happen.
Yeah, right.
But don't call him the new Horseman. No new. I hate when tag teams are the new such and such. Like the new Rockers, new
Uh,
Blackjacks, the new Midnight Express. Remember
yeah.
that with Bodacious Bob and
No.
Bombastic Bart?
No, 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 no,
Flashbacks,
no.
Menders.
No.
How
No.
I don't know how Cornette would agree to that.
I don't either.
I
Unless
well
he just didn't have much of a say to it. Well, yeah, that's true. Everybody has their price, just like Ted
well true.
DiBiase used to say. Well,
Even the state of Mississippi. But I
exactly.
digress. I digress. All right, so let's move on. We're going to get into. I don't have the House of Black as a unit. I got them separated because they're a trio.
Okay, I was just wondering where we were going with this one.
All right,
So
Big Bad Brody King. I am a
now,
fan of Brody King.
when he showed up to join with the House of Black, that was the first time I had seen Brody King.
Okay, now I had seen him in Ring of Honor before that. He was actually a part of Villain Enterprises with Marty Scurll and PCO. So he and PCO were
Okay,
a tag team. But
okay,
he'd been teaming with Black and PWG for like the last year. Like ever since
okay.
Malachi got released by WWE, they were a tag team. So that's why they brought him in for this. And
Well, that makes
he
sense.
gels.
Yeah,
He's got really good chemistry with Malachi. I wish they were actually a tag team instead of a trio. And we'll
yeah, but
get
then
into
you're
more of
leaving
that here in a
Buddy out.
couple. Buddy doesn't, and we're going to get to Buddy here in a minute. But
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, hearing about two people.
about two people. Uh, yeah, Brody, big brawling son of a bitch. He can move. He can. AJ mentioned the sleeper hold he does on the ring apron when the guy's just hanging. That
Yeah,
looks brutal. Uh,
it does.
I think he got Darby out of a battle royal with that, if I remember right.
He did.
And
Yep.
it looks good. He's like I said, I love his finish, that sit out tombstone that he does. Dante's Inferno, I think they call it.
Yeah. At least his looks safe.
Yeah,
I mean, it
heaven
still looks
forbid other
brutal,
people.
but it looks
Well, yeah,
yeah, to us it looks
yeah,
safe, but it doesn't
yeah. It's
look as
basically
brutal as
Rikishi's old
it.
finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll move on from Brody. Like I said, I like Brody. I think he's in a good spot with Black. Like I said, I just wish that they were doing tag team instead of being a trio because there's a shortage of quality tag teams in AEW right now, which we'll
There
get to.
is. Very much
But
so.
yes. All right, moving on. I hope we can find something good to say about this guy, Menders.
Yeah, I think we can find a few good things to say
The
about it.
American Dragon, Brian Danielson, the MVP of Forbidden Door, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we showed the X-ray 20 plus minutes on that broken arm, and
Mhm.
he got the old music out for Forbidden Door. They actually pony up money for Final Countdown,
I kind of hope
which
they
I
keep
actually
it.
I
I'm not
popped.
gonna lie. I hope
It's
they keep it.
it sounds like it's going to be a one-off. If you listen to Tony, he
Ah,
said that the rights cost as much as some wrestlers' salaries.
oh jeez. Oh,
Yeah,
I'd believe it.
AJ, yeah, you're not wrong. He's Brian Danielson. Enough said. Uh,
However, can I make a point I made in the chat?
please do.
So now he is considered the greatest wrestler, right? Because he beat Okada.
I know where you're going with this.
But MJF beat Danielson. So
But
doesn't
not by legitimate
MJF
means,
have
though.
a
He cheated, though.
he still beat him. He still beat him. If you're not cheating, you're not
Uh,
trying.
that's true. Well, if Danielson hadn't turned heel, there could be an opportunity for a rematch.
There could be, but not now.
No. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Uh, uh, I've always been a fan of Danielson. He's there are so many things we can say about the Blackpool Combat Club as a unit. Who fits in, who doesn't. Uh, I'll just say this: there are guys I would remove from that group, and then there's guys I would bring in to be in that group. Uh, I would probably
Well, now
say
I'm curious.
Mock
Are we gonna get to those boys eventually?
eventually, yeah.
Of who
Oh
you
yeah,
would put in? Okay.
I got them staggered out, yeah. But Danielson is one of the guys I would keep in the group, but I would also try to think of another name that's not Regal related.
No more BCC,
Yeah, or BBC if you listen to Adam Page.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
But yeah, it's a enough said argument with Danielson. He's best wrestler in the world. Definitely the best wrestler in AEW, like at a technical standpoint. So I think we can move on from the Dragon there. So we talked about Brody. Let's talk about Buddy. Uh,
Buddy. I wish they change his
Buddy.
name. I want
Yeah,
him to change his name.
yeah. I'm Malachi. I'm Brody. I'm Buddy. Mate. Which I should be nice because he's actually one of my favorite guys in AEW.
He's so good. He really
Everything he
is. He's
does is
so
good,
good.
and he looks great. He's jacked to the gills. He's
But he's
we
still a
saw the
small
match he had
guy.
with an, but only
That's the
height
problem.
wise.
I
He's
know, but that's
but
enough.
but look at the match he had with Andrade. Look at the match he had with
Oh,
friggin'
I know.
Pockets about a month ago. I was
Yep.
ready for Buddy Matthews to be the international champion in that match. I thought he was
Me
going to beat
too.
Pockets.
I was hoping.
Man, everything he does, and this goes back to when he was in WWE. Everything he did then was so crisp. I loved the feud he had with Alistair in WWE. Oh, and AJ, you are correct. Nobody watched
Yeah,
205 Live, but if you did, you know how good at being a total asshole he is. It's true.
he
He's a
is. He's
damn good
great.
heel.
Very good heel.
Yeah,
Or
I
when he
want to
got
see
mixed up with him and Dominic when they had their matches back
when
before Dominic
when he was
could hold his own in the ring.
when he was basically I think he was there to bring him along to work with him and kind
Yeah,
of then started banging the sister. Uh,
yeah. And then
that's a
upgraded.
whole what a dysfunctional family that is. Dom's with
And then
Rhea, who's with
upgraded.
Buddy, who was with Aaliyah, who's
Ah,
oh my goodness. Plus, also
oh,
I
our soap
love.
opera.
Plus, Buddy's got one of my favorite finishes too. That Murphy's Law that he does. I don't know. I forget what he calls it
Hmm.
now. But yeah,
We
everything he
still
does,
call it the Murphy's
I'm
Law.
a fan of. It'll always be
Yeah.
he'll always be Buddy Murphy to me, and apparently the ring announcer on Collision.
Yep. I couldn't believe it when they said that. I was like,
Uh,
wait a minute, it's Buddy Math.
hey, you know
Okay,
what? To be fair,
whatever.
Jim Ross has made mistakes like that too on the shows
Yeah.
here and there. Not often, but
Yep.
every now and then he'll slip and he'll call somebody. I think he called Soraya Page once. Uh,
I
I
still
know he
call her
called
Paige.
Ruby Soho Ruby Riot on one show.
Yeah, I knew that too.
All right, but we'll move on from Buddy. Oh, Buddy. Uh,
He's still one
now
of
we're
those that
going
I
to
hope they push him. I hope they push him
yes.
more.
I
When
would like to see him
when
get a babyface run with Black.
well, or when the blacks break up, let him be one of the stars that come out of it.
Yes. like I
Yeah.
said, I I'll I would love to see Black as like a big star out of this, but if he's still teaming with Brody, I'm good with it. But Buddy
Yeah.
has all that potential to move up and really be something, you know?
Yep.
He could be in that Miro and Andrade conversation for those kind of workers, you know, that kind of talent. All right.
You
I've
know,
been
I'm
dreading
just trying to
this.
procrastinate because I see what the next one is.
Uh-huh. Hey, Derek.
Hey, Derek.
Uh, the man of a million nicknames and the million and one catchphrases. Ugh, Chris
And
Jericho. And
1,001 holds.
I'm sorry, no, 1,004 holds.
Oh, 1,004 holds.
Yes, he had a list.
I
Uh,
know.
it pains me. I was such a big fan of Jericho for pretty much up until he got to AEW.
Actually, I liked Jericho in AEW when it first started. When things first kicked off with Jericho, it did not bother me.
It's
As soon
he,
as as soon as he started though, like the inner circle at first, I didn't mind, but
yeah,
then it was like it
eventually
came to a
that got
point I was like, okay,
that
I'm
was
over
where I
this.
started to sour on Jericho was with the inner
Yeah.
circle because all these guys were playing third banana to him. Guevara, Santana Ortiz. I mean, they should have been on their own doing their own thing. And we'll get to
They
those
should have
guys
been.
later, but Jericho's kind of a charisma vampire these days. When
Yeah.
somebody's getting over, he's got to jump in and
He's a
hitch
coattail
his
rider.
wagon to him.
Yep, he's a coattail
But
rider.
but but he makes it appear like they're riding his coattails.
I'm so ready for
That's
Sammy to turn on. I really thought Sammy was going to turn on him at
I'm thinking
Forbidden
it's going to
Door. I was
happen.
hoping.
I think it's going to happen Wednesday because they're teaming up again. Has anyone ever been so consistently good for 20 years then just completely dropped off like Jericho? Not that fast.
No,
I don't think. Bret Hart maybe,
maybe.
but maybe.
What's with these Canadians? What's with the
Oh, those wacky
Canadians?
Canadians. And it's the Calgary guys. Uh,
Yeah.
I yeah, it's just Jericho's act has just gotten old for me. Uh,
I'm
he's all
sorry,
right.
if you want to be a heel, do not have people singing to your music.
It's in the commandments.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
And then when they wouldn't let them, because wasn't it when he did the whole thing with MJF?
and
Like MJF
MJF like
said that,
took his music away.
yeah, and then everybody sang it anyway. I was like, you guys
Like for
are
fuck's sake.
terrible.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what's happening to
exactly.
Rollins now. Rollins' music is making me not like Rollins as
I'm
much anymore.
I'm starting to hate it. I'm starting to hate it. I want
Yeah,
Finn to win this weekend.
that would be cool, but I don't think it'll happen. But
Are we going to talk about that later? Because I've got a couple ideas for that too.
we can get into that after we're done with the list here.
Okay.
You have anything else you want to say about Jericho before we move on?
Nope. Nope.
All right. So another Canadian, but this guy's doing it right.
He is.
Christian Cage, best heel in the company right now, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm getting a kick
Okay.
out of him with Luchasaurus with the belt, where he's carrying the belt around and talking like he's the champion.
Right. Yeah. I think Jack's going to go back and join back up with them.
I hope not. That's just that's
I think
backsliding.
he will.
I
It
I
may
hope he
be,
doesn't.
but I think Jack can learn a lot from Christian.
Well, of course he can,
I think
but
he could learn a lot more. But
uh,
we'll see. We'll see.
we'll have to see what happens. I
Okay,
gotta think that they want
anything
to
that
keep
you
Jack.
don't want, Mark, is probably what's going to happen because we have Florida Tony booking.
I know, fast food style.
Fast food style.
but but Christian at this point, Christian can now promo MJF right now.
Yeah.
Uh, the turtleneck is killing me when he's wrestling with the turtleneck.
Oh my god.
Is he
The
self-conscious
picture of
about
me and him.
the neck?
Maybe. I don't know. That picture of me and him though from the expo. I'm just like, did you have to wear the turtleneck?
Well, you
Okay.
gotta sport the gimmick, my
See
man.
what AJ said?
Oh,
See what AJ
whatever
said.
you do, don't feud with Christian if you have any dead family members. It's not wrong, man.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, Christian goes hard on the promos these days, and it
He
looks like he's having
does.
the time of his life,
Yeah.
and I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
I have a
But
feeling he might pop up later in our podcast.
he may, a couple times possibly, maybe three or four.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Excuse me. Again, apologies for
So we
coughing into
shall.
the microphone. All right, let's move on. This guy, he's kind of slowed down. He's not working as much, but I've
But
always
he's so good. He's
he is so
so
good.
good.
The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, man.
Remember when they
Uh,
thought he was going to lead the Dark Order
yeah, I remember that. Did you
right
know he
before
was
Brody
supposed to?
came in?
Did you know he was supposed to be the higher power in WWF for the ministry?
Oh, jeez.
That was
Oh,
Russo's
jeez.
idea, but Vince poo-pooed it because he wasn't big enough.
Well, thanks, Shitstain. Thanks for that.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've, I've I've always I've always loved Daniel's stuff in TNA though. When he was the X Division
Yes.
champion, the stuff with Styles
He's
and
so
Joe and all
good.
those guys. Yeah, he's kind of lost a step. He has a little trouble hitting that Hindu press moonsault sometimes, but the BME
How
still
old
looks
is
good.
he?
I'm not sure. AJ.
I'm on it because I want
All
to
right.
know.
I
So
know
I'll look it up.
he's at least 30 years in the business, so he's got to be
I
pushing
was thinking he was
50.
like 55.
I don't think
Christopher
he's that old,
Daniels.
but he's in his 50s easy.
I was wrong. 53.
53. Okay. Yeah. He's only 11 years younger than Sting.
Yeah. And we'll get to that one later.
Well, we'll get to Sting.
K Tony.
Oh,
Shivani.
I've part of me just threw up in my mouth a little bit doing that.
That's about all I got for Christopher Daniels. I don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, like I
He's
said,
great. There's not a
he's
lot you
slowing.
can say about him.
He's slowed down. He's not doing as much, so I'm not expecting any big pushes or anything for him in the future. He's
I'm
kind of taking
hoping
more of
he's
a
helping out the
yeah,
trainer role.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's taking more of a backstage role, which is needed.
that's
Uh,
fine.
yeah.
If people
But
will
now,
listen.
oh, if people listen, that's the big thing. Will people listen?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. But we can move on here. I think you know who's next, vendors on my list. But sticking with the BCC here, we got to talk about Claudio.
Oh, that's not who I saw was next. Okay.
Oh.
No, you're fine.
Okay. But no, Claudio.
I
He
love
fits.
Claudio.
So do I. He fits in with Danielson. I don't. Him with Moxley, it just doesn't make sense for them to be teaming up because you got the classic European technician in Claudio. Then you got, and I'm not going to call him what Cornette calls him. You got the brawler and the loose cannon
The
and
plumber?
Moxley. You said it, not me.
The plumber?
Claudio's so damn good. AJ, I agree with
He
you.
is. And he
And
got
everything he
overlooked
does
in
is.
WWE.
But he did get a title shot
He did.
with Roman, but he was mainly relegated to. And I loved the tag team with Sheamus that he had. The bar, you know.
Shame. No, Tyson. Tyson Kidd and him.
That was a good team too. I agree with you.
That was a good tag team. I
Yeah.
love that tag team. If Tyson
I
wouldn't
loved
have
them. I
gotten
liked them
hurt,
both. Yeah.
if
Damn
Tyson
it,
wouldn't have
Joe.
gotten hurt, right? And then we'll see.
It's hard
And
to
then
blame Joe.
me and the well, you've seen me and the boys do shots. We always do the "We are the bar, we are the bar." So
Yeah.
every time we do shots.
Yeah.
So
here's, and I mentioned this with the BCC. How there are guys you could take out and put in. I would leave Danielson and Claudio in.
okay.
Take out Yuta. Take out Moxley.
Thank
Moxley
God.
doesn't need a group. He can do his own thing. Maybe do something with Kingston. I bring in Chris Hero if it's me. Because then you got the Kings of Wrestling back together,
Yeah,
which
you
is
do.
one of my favorite tag teams of all time. I know Hero I think was backstage at Collision. I think they're looking at him for a
I was gonna say,
backstage role there.
I thought they said that he was backstage.
Yeah, I think he was there as in a producer capacity, but I'm willing to bet he can still go. He
I don't know. He
kind
was
of.
starting to lose a few steps in NXT. He wasn't as good in
Well,
NXT, but
that
I
also
don't know
could be
if
who he
that
was working
was.
with. There was a match he
It
had
could
with
be.
Walter in UK that was really good.
Was there?
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was.
catch
I
a
think
lot
it
of the
was right.
NXT
It was
UK.
wasn't long after Walter showed up in WWE. They put him with Hero.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Cassius Ono at the time. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're
Oh
getting off
no.
of Claudio here. Claudio's
Yeah.
Ring of Honor champion, which I'm all for. But
Fine with it.
yeah, the sky's the limit with
If he was
Claudio. I
better
mean,
at promos, he would be higher up, I think.
yeah, you're probably right. I mean, he's not a bad promo necessarily.
It's not
He just
bad
doesn't.
promo, but he's not a
The
great
problem
promo
is
either.
he doesn't get a chance to. With the BCC, it's always Moxley and Danielson doing all the talking, and before that, it was
Yeah.
Regal.
Yep.
So they haven't really give a chance to be Claudio, But
Yeah.
I've always been, and then unless something drastic happens, I will always be a fan of Claudio. Also, one of the nicest guys I've ever met at wrestling shows.
You know,
So,
fun fact, Claudio and I have the exact same birthday year and everything.
oh, wow. What are
Yep.
the odds?
We're birthday
Claudio,
twins.
I believe he's married to Sarah Del Rey,
I
uh,
think so.
and she's awesome, so good.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she would have at least gotten a match with WWE before she retired and took the coach role.
Yeah.
But I digress. That's neither here nor there. Uh, but let's move on from Claudio. We're right at almost to the end of the seas, Menders. We're rolling here.
We're
Uh,
rolling.
we're
Actually,
rolling.
okay, who's your next one? Because I think you missed one unless you're putting him in a oh, wait, you probably put him in a tag team. Never mind.
Who's that?
Never mind. You put him in the tag team.
Okay.
Muffin Top.
Oh yeah, he's in the tag team.
Okay. I just
Look at
remembered you
that
put him
guy.
in. Yeah. There's my guy. There's my other
CM
guy.
Punk, the most polarizing face in the history of AEW, CM Punk. Uh, I mean, what do you say about Punk? I've always been a fan of his work. I've heard I've always heard like varying stories about his personality and his attitude and all that stuff. I could care less. I mean, he seems like one of those guys where if you're cool to him, he'll be cool to you. But
Exactly. If you respect him, he'll respect you.
right, and that's all you can ask for. Uh, I haven't seen him have a bad match in AW except for the one with Moxley on Dynamite when he lost in like 3 minutes
Mm,
before All Out. The Dog Collar
that was
match with
terrible.
MJF. Match with Kingston was solid. It
Yep.
wasn't his best work, but the story was
Even
good on
his
that
match
one
with
though.
Darby was good
Yeah,
because he
and
fought
now
when he fought Darby.
I remember that match. Took his time off. The whole shit show from the scrum happened, and
No, he ripped his tricep, so
he
that's
did
why
get
he's
hurt.
gone, not because
Well,
he
yeah,
got hurt.
yeah. But then just all the controversy with
Yeah.
Uncle Dave spreading all the shit, and the elite, and
Uncle
all that stuff.
Dave
But
and the
Punk's
EVPs
back.
being little bitches.
Uh,
Sorry.
but what have you thought about Punk since he's been back? I mean, you've seen the
Oh,
match
I've
with
loved
Joe
it.
and Gin and Juice, and you saw the match with Kojima on Sunday,
I
which was
I
awesome. I love
yeah,
Kojima.
it was. I was
Uh, Felt
I've been
bad for him getting
impressed.
elbowed in the nuts.
Yeah, oh gosh. That was terrible. Felt so bad for him.
Uh,
And then I thought he was
to
going to
his
give him
credit,
a
Kojima did
receipt.
apologize.
He did. He did. He's like, I didn't
Punk is
mean
kind
to.
of
And
like
I
he's
was like,
yeah. This is true. Punk could have once all the rumors started going around. Punk could have easily said, "You know what, fuck this."
yeah, he could
Uh,
have.
I love the promo when he came back on Collision. The whole "I'm tired of being the nice guy" and
Yep.
just good stuff from Punk. And
Well,
I
I
mean,
heard it was
the
quite
numbers don't
a
lie.
different reaction. It was quite a different reaction when he came back when he came was in because even on Forbidden Door, there was a lot
Well,
of
yeah, because he
booze
was
in that.
they were in Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
See what I did?
But
See what I did there instead of
saw what you
Canada,
did there.
Canada.
Saw what you did there. Canada. But
So it's very 50-50
it's
at least.
yeah. But you still got to respect what he's doing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
in Gary's great words, it's a work. But
It's a
you
word.
gotta love how
Gary
well
said it.
he's. Yep. Gary was right.
And that'll make Gary happy that we
That's,
admitted he's right. The man is more honest than Abe Lincoln. There we go.
I
Punk
mean,
for president. Let's make CM Punk the president.
sure, why not?
Well, you'll never get a drug scandal from him because, straight edge.
That's true. That's true. Well,
All
let's move on. We're about
right,
out of
let's
the
move on to
C's. We
Punk.
got one more, and I think it's funny who's the next
It's
one
it's
is.
it's hilarious that this is the next one, but yeah, I mean,
Isn't
yeah, we
it?
both agree Punk thumbs up. So
Punk thumbs up. Good God. Followed by
boom
Colt
boom.
Cabana.
Oh. And and I think Cabana kind of got a bad deal. With the media scrum with Punk, I don't have an issue with everything he was saying about the elite and all that stuff. I feel bad for Cabana because he brought Cabana into it and it didn't really seem to
well,
need
did
to.
something. Well, I was gonna say, did something happen that I totally missed right before that, or something of why it even got brought up? Did the
No,
EVPs
the
bring
guy
something
asked
up about it?
Yenta Mixon asked him a question about uh I think about Chicago, and then just Punk just went on a Cabana tirade
Huh.
for no
Okay.
real reason.
I wondered
But
if there was a reason that he went off on it. But
yeah,
that's, I mean,
not that I'm aware
like
of.
we just said, though, Punk's real. He's gonna tell he's gonna tell his story, whether
Yeah,
it's the right story or not.
now I don't have an issue with Cabana sharing a bank account with his mother. I mean that's not uncommon for people in the either in music or in wrestling, whatever. It's just it's good to have another name on the account sometimes. And Cabana's a bachelor,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't judge him for that. So I do think this. I think that they have missed a huge opportunity in the last 3 years, not finding some way to get those two in a match. Because
I wonder though if that's the two of them saying they're not gonna do it.
it could be, but I'm telling you,
There's so much heat. Yeah. In
if they do a
Chicago.
match in Chicago, they will be printing money if they do a feud
Mm-hmm.
going into that. And you could have Cabana be the heel for all we care.
That
The
works.
whole I was here first, and then you come in and take over and all this, get Ace Steel involved because he trained both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you're just begging to print money, and God knows they don't do shit with Cabana anyway. They put him with the Dark Order
Right.
day one, and
In the background of the Dork
in the
Order yet
back
to
they
boot.
made him a 10th banana in the Dark Order, and it kills me because Cabana's so good. Everything he does in the ring is so good. And he can do
We got to
everything. He
see that
does
at the expo.
yeah, he does the European style. He can do the goofy shit. He can talk. He can he can get rowdy if you need him to. We saw a feud with
Yeah.
Homicide and Ring of Honor back in the day that was nuts. Uh, but yeah, they're missing the boat with Cabana. I think he's actually doing Ring of Honor now. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's for the best, so he can kind of get away from the whole. Because if he stays in AEW too much with Punk there, that's all they're going to talk about.
It'll start again. Yep.
It'll start all over again. But no, we're fans of Cabana. We didn't get to meet him at the expo, but we saw him. He
No.
wrestled. It was him and shit. Well,
Was
Shark
he
Boy
with
was the
Carlito?
referee. No, that was Crazy Steve.
Oh, that was Crazy Steve.
He was. Colt was in a match with somebody, but Shark Boy was the referee. But I forget
Yeah,
who he was
Shark Boy was
wrestling.
the referee. I don't
All right.
remember. Was he
But
in a
anyway,
tag or was it one-on-one? I don't
it was a
remember.
one-on-one. It was a one-on-one.
Okay.
Well, let's move on.
It's your
We're gonna
favorite
get.
wrestler.
It's my very favorite guy in AEW. Oh yes, Danhausen. Oh, very nice,
Is
very
it
evil.
Murray? Where's Murray?
Oh, Murray. Murray loves to curse people.
So we can get cursed.
I don't have my mug handy.
But
He's the man who's hot on the trail of Jungle Man Jack Jerry.
yeah, I wish they would actually let him get in the ring more. I want to see more of what he can do.
He can go. He's actually a good wrestler. He trained under friggin' Jimmy Jacobs and Truth Martini, so he knows what he's doing in there. But
Jeez.
he just tripped over a gold mine with his gimmick that he's got.
Yeah,
Made him the most. He's selling merchandise hand over fist. His YouTube channel's got like 1 million subscribers. I'm one of them.
I'm
And
sure.
what I would love to see, and I agree, I'd like to see him in the ring more. On Collision, I want to see him as a color commentator with Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness. Talk about a fun
That would be
environment.
fun.
That would be
That would
so
be a
much fun.
blast.
Getting everybody's names wrong, and
Uh-huh. We'd
talking
have
about
all
all of his
sorts of
sacks
new
of
names
money.
after that.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
say we'd have all
Chris
sorts of new
Chris
names.
Judas. You know.
Chris Judas.
Oh,
Danhausen.
I mean,
And you
how
know
much
what?
do I love
He's
Danhausen?
another one. Well, he's one of those guys that came up with a gimmick that Tony let him keep.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like Orange Cassidy, because Orange Cassidy, when he came in with a gimmick. And he's kept the same damn gimmick the entire time.
It's gotten over to his credit, but
Has, to his credit, it's gotten over. But
to our
I
detriment.
don't know.
But
His
Danhausen,
Danhausen's, yeah, as I say, his gimmick is, it's so good. It's so funny.
yes,
I mean, before he was in the ring, even Corny liked Danhausen. And that
yeah.
says
He's
something.
and Corny said he doesn't care if he ever sees him wrestle. He just loves his character
Yep.
because his
He
gimmick
loves
is
the
just all
character.
about making money.
Yep.
Everything he does is to make sacks of money and get a helicopter or a blimp or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
I'll admit, when I first saw Danhausen, I didn't get him because I saw him in Ring of Honor like sparingly before he got to AEW. It wasn't until I heard him start doing interviews because when I would play bars, they would have wrestling on the TV over the bars like Ring of Honor, but there was no audio. So I would just
Right.
see him come out with the cape and the face paint. So I was like, what the fuck is that? But then I started hearing him on, and honestly, I heard him on Jericho's podcast and in character, and that's when it won me over. And then I think he was on Renee's podcast. I think he hosted Renee's podcast when she was having her baby on one episode. He interviewed RJ City for what it's worth, and
Ah,
but yeah, he's just so silly and uh, he's. I think I need to be friends with him because he's also a fan of Conan O'Brien and The Simpsons and all that stuff. But no, I love Danhausen. Love that Danhausen's YouTube channel, and I do. Ah, yes.
throw up
Give him
AJ's
all the
comment.
human monies and teeth. Human monies and teeth. That'll make him very happy, Hausen. Yes. Then he can. And for the Tony, get him his damn blimp. He's been asking for it for
Yeah, no
like 2 years. You don't think he's earned a blimp?
He's earned a blimp. All right, I know he's your favorite, but let's keep
Yeah, we gotta
moving.
move on. All right.
We're already at almost an hour and a half, and we're only
We're
to
in the
the D's.
D's. Yeah, that's true. Should we kind of step on the gas a little bit here, Menders?
Maybe a little bit. Although
All
we've got a
right.
few here that we can kind of speed through.
Yeah.
So
This is not one of them.
no, this is not.
Daniel Garcia. I'll just say this: hell of a worker, floundering in the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Get
Uh,
away from
yeah,
Jericho.
it's the charisma vacuum, and clearly he's done with Danny because he doesn't have a whole lot of charisma left. But that's neither here
Yeah.
nor there. All right. So,
And I'm
anything you want
tired
to
of
add
his
about him?
Alex Wright dances. I'm tired of his
Yes.
Alex Wright dances.
All right. Got anything you want to add for Garcia?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Darby Allen.
Now this one.
Uh, I think there's more business for him with MJF.
Oh, I do too.
He needs to
But I
be away from Sting. Uh, I'll say this. I think Sting needs to turn heel on Darby.
yes.
Darby's too over as a babyface.
Yes.
And yeah, I would love to see that four-way pillars match was such a clusterfuck. I would have preferred to just see Darby and Max one-on-one.
It would have been nice.
Yeah. And I'll say this
But
also: when Darby wrestles MJF, and if he is the one that beats him for the world title, Darby needs to win with the side headlock takeover.
yes. Yes, he does.
That's how
Long-term
you tell
storytelling.
long-term storytelling.
Now here's the thing. It could take up to a year before this happens.
It could.
Because how long did it take with Wardlow, with the slow burn with Wardlow and MJF?
There's quite a bit of a burn. It was from the dog collar match through shit.
Well, it
About
had even
6 months.
started before the dog collar match. It was
Well,
almost a
yeah,
year.
yeah. So yeah, we'll have to wait
So
and see what happens. But I think that's the if you're gonna pick somebody to take the belt off MJF, I actually do think it's Darby. I don't think it's Punk. I don't think it's Cole.
it's gonna
Just
be
for
orange.
oh,
I hate
knowing
I hate to
Florida
say it,
Tony.
but I think
Yeah,
it's gonna
knowing
be orange.
Florida Tony is all about his pockets, and that's probably what's gonna happen. Best
Our
outside
little
dive.
puppy pockets.
Yep, man, he gets so much speed on that dive out the floor. It's
Mm-hmm.
unsettling. All right, well, let's move on from Darby. Let's talk about
This will be
Dustin.
quick.
Yeah, it'll be quick, but I Dustin's got a good role. He's working
Where he's at,
backstage with
he
everybody. I don't
yep.
get the tag team with Keith Lee.
Me
Uh,
either.
he can still go. He's in better shape than he was as Gold Dust.
He's in
And
better shape than Keith Lee.
yeah, well, and I'll say this: in the 4.5 year history of AEW, Dustin is still one half of the greatest match they ever had, which is the match with
Yes.
Cody at Double or Nothing.
Yep. Yep. That's still one of my favorite matches with
Yes,
AEW.
so good, so good.
Mm-hmm.
And a match we've been waiting for a long time for because they wouldn't do it in WWE when they were there.
Right.
But I think we can move on from Dustin. Here's one we can get a little bit into.
Yep.
The last of a
Oh,
dying
I love the
breed, the King
face.
of Diamonds,
The face.
Eddie Kingston. Uh, here's another guy. He and Max could have a Dusty Flair kind of a feud. Get the rich guy and
They
then the
could,
common guy, you know. But
right?
this is
I
a
don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think
I
MJF
doubt
will
it.
work with him.
Well, I don't think Tony would put them together. I
Yeah,
think
I don't either.
I think Eddie is going to be perpetually linked to Moxley until one of them leaves the company. And
I'm interested to see how the fallout from that plays out
yeah,
from
that'll be
Forbidden Door.
interesting for sure. Uh, he's another guy. I talked about Chris Hero. If they ever do get Hero in the ring, these two, Hero and Kingston, had the best feud on the independents for a good several years across Sakara, CZW, Ring of Honor, IWA, every territory you can think of. They feuded there because
Yeah.
for those who don't know, Hero trained Kingston, and then they just
Hmm.
they don't get along. There's there is no respect, there's no friendship there, and this is what we're talking about with the Elite and Punk, where the Elite won't work with Punk because they don't like him or they feel disrespected. Hey, Kingston and Hero hated each other, but they knew that they would draw money in a
Right.
main event feud, and they did great business and had awesome matches. They did a last man standing match in Midlothian for Ian Rotten that I was there for, and I still have like headaches in perpetuity from watching them take a backdrop driver on a guardrail.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
Mm.
so Kingston can be he could be a main event guy in AEW easily. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just about whether Tony sees that or not. So I put Fuego del Sol on the list here, Menders. I'm going to take him off because he's actually done with the company.
Okay.
So we don't have to. That's one less guy to worry about. So let's
One
go
less
ahead. We'll
guy.
move. So let's move on from King. Not the King. That's the Cobra. Uh,
Right. Hey, by the way, I have a shirt on the way.
I saw that. That's a cool shirt. I need to get some money so I can get one.
Uh-huh.
Ethan Page. They don't know what they've got with this guy.
No, they don't.
I mean,
And now he's
what
with the
the?
Hardys.
No, he's subservient to the Hardys by force.
Yeah, I know.
They had him. I mean, the North was an awesome tag team in Impact. Him and Josh Alexander. When
Mm-hmm.
he left Impact and got to AEW, I was hoping that they were going to push him as a single, but as soon as he gets there, they put him with Scorpio, and they did fine. It was a decent tag team.
They did fine. Yeah.
But then they put him with the Firm, and then they've got him playing second banana to the Hardys, and they haven't given him a chance to be. And the matches he
Ethan
had with
Page.
Darby were really good.
Yeah.
You saw the match he had with Darby when he first got there, and he had really good matches with him. And he's a good heel, good talker, looks good.
See what AJ just put up? As I
Yeah,
said, you see
FTR.
that?
Oh, I would love if we could get a match between the North and FTR sometime. That would be so good. Uh, but I digress. Yeah, it's just one of those things where Tony just doesn't know what he's got uh, with Ethan. And
Like he
Ethan's a
knows
guy I've been
he's
watching.
good, but he doesn't. Yeah, he knows
E-
he's
e-
good, but he doesn't know
yeah,
what to do with him.
yeah. And Ethan's a guy I've been watching since 2008. When he used to
Wow.
come down from Canada for Wrestle for Ian. Like he'd travel with like Elgin and all those guys coming down from Toronto. And yeah, he was always in that kind of shape. Like he was always just a big jacked up kid and good in the ring. So yeah, I want to see more out of Ethan because I think there's more to have, you know. But that's my little filibuster about Ethan Page. But we can move on.
Well, you can just
Let's
say the next name and then move on.
yeah, uh, Evil Uno. Enough
Pizzeria
said.
Uno.
Enough said.
All right, next.
The best thing about Evil Uno went to Ring of Honor and joined the Righteous, and that's Stu Grayson.
Yeah,
But so we'll move on from Evil Uno. Let's
next.
move on. Actually, somebody that did some juicy business this weekend, the cold-hearted, handsome devil Hook. The
You know what? I finally figured out who he reminds me of, or who reminds me of him.
can, can I take a guess?
Probably
Is it a youthful referee in Zero One USA?
referee. I was thinking more of Mr. Kenny Calix, but okay.
Oh, see, I'm seeing Logan Cavazos.
Well, that too. I could see Logan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking more
he's
Kenny.
taller, but you know, I
Yeah,
like Hook. I like his
I
style.
do too.
Of course,
And
I was a big Taz fan from way back too.
go ahead and throw the next one up because we may as well talk about these two
Well, yeah, we'll
together.
talk about it together because they're doing a few. So next time,
They're
this is
doing a
Jack
thing
Perry.
now.
Look at
Yeah.
that face. That's a heel if ever I saw one.
Mm.
So
No,
I have
geez.
thoughts. Now, when I made my notes about Jungle Boy and Hook, it was before the pay-per-view, so it's kind of silly. I put for Hook, I said should not be paired with Jungle Boy. There we go. So it worked out. I also said that Hook will make a great heel someday. But right now, he's so over.
He's so over.
He needs to be on his own. I don't know why they don't use him more on Dynamite.
Why
He's
don't
been
they put
Mr.
him with?
Rampage.
Why can't Taz be his? I mean, you've
Oh,
got
his
Arn, you've got just
no,
kind of the
because
guy in the corner. You
I
think that'd be too
I
much?
I think that if Taz is in Hook's corner, all the attention is going to be on Taz.
Yeah.
I think Hook,
Although he's established himself beforehand before Taz has joined him, so there's
right?
that
And Taz,
possibility.
yeah, I mean, it's not a secret that Taz is his father, but yeah, if
No.
Taz is in the, and that's the same reason Taz didn't get up and go after Jack on Sunday, because then all the
Mm-hmm.
attention would be on Taz and it wouldn't be on Jack and Hook. Uh, with Jack, long overdue heel turn. I want to see how he does with it.
I'm
I
over
got so
Jack
tired of
already.
the baby face act. He needs to come back with. He needs to come out with a haircut. He needs
Yep.
to come back. He needs to lose the Jungle Boy name. Just be Jack Perry.
As much as I hate to
And
admit it, he needs to come out as how Chris Jericho did when he turned and went
oh,
from
in the suit.
being yes.
Oh,
I
AJ.
think that's how he needs to do it.
AJ says Jungle Boy just turned on Hook because Hook was his weed dealer, and he finally learned a dime bag doesn't cost $100. And he's oh my.
Oh,
Uh,
AJ.
but I agree. Jack needs to do a complete overhaul of his character. Uh, as catchy as the song is, that's not a heel entrance music. The
Well, he made
Baltimore,
fun of it too at the end of Forbidden Door,
yeah,
so
he
I
was
wonder
doing
if
the
they
hand
won't
waving.
completely. Yeah.
Part of me thinks
So I
that he
wonder
could
if it
come
won't
out.
be gone.
Yeah, a part of me thinks he should come out with no music, but and then I mentioned that to the group, and AJ and I think it was AJ or Barry said that he's not didn't quite have the heat to be without music.
He doesn't quite have the heat to be without music. He's not Tommaso Ciampa.
No,
Um,
or Ziggler.
or he should come out. No, no, that's a terrible idea, Mindy. Shut up. He should
No,
come out
no,
to the
you can't.
90210 theme song.
Oh my God! Oh man! I wish he would. Or be in a feud with somebody, and then have him in a feud with Danhausen, and Danhausen like arranges for it to play when he's coming out, just to piss him off.
I'm so terrible. Okay.
And then Danhausen can say, "Jack McKay."
Yeah, Jack McKay.
Jack Sideburns with the hair. Uh, but, uh,
Oh,
but
okay.
but yeah, let's move on from there. I am curious to see where they go with that angle, though. It's going to be
I am too.
interesting. All right.
Why do we have to go to the next guy? Does anybody care
I
about the next guy?
I got something I got to get off my chest about the next one. But
All right.
Jake Hager, the Big
Take the
Hurt, as he was
stupid
called
hat
briefly.
off.
The My question is he worth keeping around just to do a job once every 3 months?
No.
And the guy's and you know I love my Haas fights, man, and he is a Haas. He's a
He
Haas and a half.
is.
And that fucking purple hat is an insult to a guy who's probably he might be the most legit badass they've got in the company.
Yeah.
Might be.
But he looks like a joke.
He looks like he's wearing a fucking flowery romper and a purple hat.
Yep.
It's just
He looks
awful.
like a joke.
Just fucking disgraceful.
Now, see, and I didn't mind him when he was Jack Swagger. I did not
I
mind
didn't
him.
either. No, I love the
I
name.
was okay
Jack
with that.
Swagger's a great name.
Yeah. Now he's Jack Hager.
Jake Hager, yes.
Whatever.
I
don't
gotta
really care
think
if I
Jim
get it
Ross
right or
throws up
not.
in his mouth every time he sees him in that fucking purple hat. All right.
Has to.
Well, all right. I think that's all I had to say about Jake. So let's move on.
There's AJ. I knew he was going to
Uh-oh.
throw that up there.
We the
I knew
people,
he
he
was going to throw it
says.
up there. Yep.
Yep. With Dutch, who's not everybody's favorite guy these days.
No.
No, but that's neither
But
here nor there.
nah.
All right. Let's move on to somebody who is one of my favorite guys.
Yep.
Another
A
one
nice
in.
guy too.
Oh, great guy.
Not
Such
to
a nice guy at
not
the
to
expo.
break kayfabe, but
Yeah. But another one in the long list of guys Tony Khan has just made a
screwed
complete
over.
joke out of.
Yeah. When you
I said
get
it.
beat by pockets so quick.
hmm The fact that Tony could do an angle that made me not care about Jay Lethal, Mark Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett, or FTR simultaneously is a huge
It's
comment to his
impressive.
booking ability.
It's
Yeah, let's
impressive.
call it impressive. Let's call it impressive. But man, Jay Lethal is, I'm willing to bet, besides maybe one or two guys, pound for pound, the best wrestler they've got ability wise in AEW.
Yeah.
He should he showed up in, I forget what pay-per-view it was, challenged Sammy for the TNT Championship and lost in his debut. Mistake. They should have had him get a
Yep.
few wins first. Then they have him be the first guy thrown out of a battle royal. Bigger mistake. And then they job him out for months before they put him with Jarrett and Sanjay. And now they've
And you
got him
can't
as a
take him
joke.
seriously. Yeah,
I
he's
can't
a
take,
joke.
and I mean, even when he was Black Machismo, he wasn't a joke.
Isn't it
But
sad how that works?
man, it's almost heartbreaking for this guy. I mean, I know he's making a shit ton of money probably and making a living and all that stuff, but just creative wise, you take this guy, his world title run in Ring of Honor after he beat Jay Briscoe was a masterpiece. I think it was over a
Yeah.
year, and yeah, and now he's doing this. It's just criminal almost.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll get off my soapbox about Jay Lethal. Uh, AJ isn't he? I think he is the longest reigning champ. If he, I don't know, he might have. I think he passed Joe. Joe was at like 23 months, but or 20 months or something like that. But I forget how long Lethal's first reign was. Let's move on. Mender's another guy who I'm really high on. That actually I've seen hope now out of this guy.
Yes.
The Switchblade, Jay White of Bullet Club Gold. I was worried when he first showed up when they put him with Juice, and they were just kind of bumping feeding for some of the heels for Ricky Starks and all that. Got some wins on Ricky though. Like his win loss record is pretty good, but ever since last weekend, they've they're probably putting him in with guys that he can show off how good he is instead of just doing backstage promos on Dynamite with Juice because
Uh,
uh
sorry to change. Oh
there's
wait,
been
there's
oh
Jay.
what
Hold on, I'm still looking. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm still
oh
looking here.
but Jay, I've been a fan of Jay since he was in New Japan. Uh, when he came back from his excursion, he won every championship there was to win. Then he comes over. He had a good run with Impact when he came over. I think it was last year, doing the Bullet Club thing. And then he went. I think he went back to Japan. Then he came to AEW. And I had hope for him when he showed up in AEW last year before Forbidden Door, when he was the IWGP champion and he won the four-way
Yep.
there. It was Cole, Page, him, and Okada in the four-way. And then when he comes back, they just got him with promos. They put him with Juice, which makes sense. They're both Bullet Club guys, have been. But it's just the fact that Jay got kicked out of the Bullet Club, and then Tony immediately puts him in the Bullet Club. It just that made no
Right.
sense to me. But the matches he's been having the last couple weeks have been encouraging, though.
That was what I was
Okay,
going to say. What AJ just said.
AJ
Combined
chimed in.
total of.
Longest, yeah, Joe has the longest single reign.
Yep.
So thank you, AJ. AJ, you're a big help. I'll just say it.
Yeah, because Joe went 645 days.
Yes, yes.
At once. So followed closely by Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, Nigel was up there. Danielson had like a 15-month reign, I think.
And then Danielson, and then Lethal. His longest one was 427 days.
Yeah, and Briscoe went over a year too, I believe, at one point. But,
Steen was 328 days.
Okay.
Davey Richards was 321.
Right.
Jay was 286.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have any thoughts on Jay White before we move on, Minders?
I'm glad he's
we're rolling. We're halfway through the Jays.
We're going better now. Yeah. I'm glad he's with Juice. I'm interested to see what more they're going to do.
I love the dynamic because Juice is the wild child, and then Jay is like the cool guy, you know?
Yep.
But I digress. But I can move on from. I've said everything I need to say about Jay. If you have,
I'm good.
All right. Let's move on. The last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett, Double J. I'm going to say this. In the ring, he is remarkably good for his age.
Yes.
He doesn't look like he's lost a step in there. It's the fucking booking. It's the putting him with Jay and Sanjay. We'll get to Sanjay later.
If it had just been him and Jay, without Sanjay,
that's doable.
I think I think I would have been all right with it.
They showed
and
they
Jarrett
could be a good tag team.
He is 55 years old.
Yeah.
He is 55 years old.
But Lethal and Jarrett teamed up at the Flair last match. It was Flair's last match. It was Flair and Andrade against those two. And they make a good team, but it's just the cartoonish menagerie in the background. It's like when Simon Diamond had his entourage in ECW with Johnny Swinger. Like they were a good team, but you couldn't take them seriously.
Right.
Lethal and Jarrett are a good team, but with Sanjay and I'm not going to call him what you think I'm going to call him, Satnam Singh,
Pinhead,
and now Karen Jarrett in the background. It's just you can't take him seriously.
It's getting obnoxious. Yeah, it's
and now you throw
obnoxious.
and now you got him wrestling Aubrey Ed and Mark Briscoe in tag team matches.
You seriously just called her Aubrey Ed?
I did. I'm sorry. I shouldn't find it humorous how Jim Cornette talks about Aubrey.
Oh, I love it. He used to love Aubrey.
I've never been a fan. And we'll get to if we got time, we'll get to referees. But Nobody does wild overbooked fuckery better than Double J. It's not wrong.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So
So
I've
next, yeah.
I've said everything I need to say about Double J. Oh, we got a debut this past Saturday, Menders. I don't know if you know.
Oh, what'd I miss?
Uh, Johnny TV showed up,
Oh, good lord.
and
Okay.
wouldn't you know, he's paired up with QTV.
Oh, son of a.
I know. I said the
Okay.
same thing. For fuck's sake, Johnny. Ugh.
Hey, they must be paying him well.
There's
That's
a
all I gotta
T-shirt.
say.
There's a
For
T-shirt. For
fuck's
fuck's
sake,
sake, Johnny.
Tony. Or for fuck's sake, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I have one note about Johnny, and he just showed up. He helped jump the acclaimed on Collision. My only note is, and I put this in all caps with 6 exclamation points, Mender, so you know I'm serious.
yep.
Does not need QT.
No. Does not need QT at all.
Yeah, and we'll get to QT later too. But
And you know what
John,
though? He's so good. He really
he
is.
really
He's
is.
so
Yeah.
good.
Why is he with QT when his wife is working as a heel right now, and they could be doing the unit, Johnny and
Yes,
Taya?
I
Because
agree.
they were a heck of a team in Impact,
You
and
and AJ
I'm
are on the same thing. Oh, they were a heck of a team in Lucha. They were together in Lucha
that's what
Underground.
I figured.
They're great.
The less
They're
QTV I
great
see, the
heel.
better. That friggin'
Yeah,
blonde
exactly.
bimbo from Australia who tried to rap on Saturday. It was kind of
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah. Darn, I missed
Best
it.
part, the best part was she was hitting on Bowens.
Oh God. Oh, that's hilarious.
So, she's laying
Oh,
it on
okay.
thick, and then finally Bowens says, "Look, lady, I'm gay." Big pop
Okay,
from the
I
crowd.
might
The
have to
crowd
watch.
starts chanting. The crowd started chanting, "He's gay," in the most joyous fashion that you would imagine. It went
Okay, I'm
viral.
gonna have to
I think
go.
it's on YouTube.
I'll have to go check that one out. I'll have to go look at that. Oh, that's
Okay,
funny.
all right. This I wasn't familiar with. Pick up PJ Black and Jack Evans reunite the Worldwide Underground. You know what? I'm down just for that group. I'm down for it, even though I haven't seen them as a unit. But those
Yeah,
4 guys, well, 3 guys and a lady,
Taya.
or
Yeah,
as Brian last say, 3 people and a lady.
yeah, 3 people and a lady.
But yeah. So like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Johnny TV. I hate that he's with QT, and
Yeah.
but we'll have to see. All right. So moving on, another one of your favorites, Menders.
You know what? Here's the thing. He was.
Uh huh.
He used to
Now he's
be long damn time ago.
now he's dope.
Now
Yeah,
he's
it's cool.
dope. Yeah, it's cool. I can
And yes,
blend.
that's the picture I
Everybody can
chose.
see me. That's great.
Although it is a small miracle he did not bleed on Sunday.
Yeah. How did that not happen? Seriously.
Like I said, I think
We
he
were
gave
all
his bleeding.
wrong.
I think he passed his bleeding privileges over to Osprey on Sunday.
No shit. Holy crap.
I was a
He
grizzly, like a
between
bear.
yeah. But he needs to be by himself doing
Hmm.
his own thing
He's a
away
natural
from
loner.
any title belt. Away from any title belt. And he just
You
needs
know,
to have
I didn't hate him with
storyline.
Kingston.
No, I didn't hate him with Kingston either. And you know what? We might get it back. Who knows?
We may. Maybe that's how they get Boxley out of the BCC. You never know.
Maybe.
How long can I keep this picture up, Menders?
Oh, but you're fine. Hey, wait, he's flipping off my side of the screen. Take it down.
Oh, uh, AJ listens to Corny also. I'm gonna bleed within the first
Okay.
minute, and then I'm gonna kick your ass, and it'll be badass, dude, like Rocky Four.
I have a Dean Ambrose doll in my that I picked up from
I've
the
I've got a
last.
couple of I've got a couple of Ambrose shirts somewhere in my tote of Misfit T-shirts because I liked
I
him
was
in
really a
WWE. I liked him on the Indies before that too.
oh I liked him as Ambrose, but now he's kind of getting Chris Jericho heat with me right now. Kind of go away heat.
A little bit. He doesn't have go away heat with me yet, but he's got same old shit heat with me right now.
Yeah.
He needs to he needs to change things up. I don't think the fans want to boo him. I think they
They
want him
don't
to still
want
be a
to.
babyface.
And
Uh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't
All
know.
right. All right. Well, moving on from Mox. This is a guy we can just basically
I
just show
actually
the picture
forgot
and
this
move on.
guy was on AEW, in all
Josh
honesty.
Woods. He's mainly in Ring of Honor,
He's,
but he's a part of the Trust Busters, Varsity Athletes, all that stuff with Smart Mark
yeah.
Sterling. Good worker, good, legit tough guy. I think he has an MMA background and all that. But another guy just kind of they just stuff him in a group and forget about him.
Although they did let Yuta beat him, so there's that.
Of course they did. Of course they did. All right. Well, let's
And
move
that was
on.
on ROH yet to boot. That sucks.
Yeah.
All right,
Was that
yeah,
when
go to
he
the next
was?
guy.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Juice. I love this guy.
Juice.
Also, nice guy. I met him at the expo. Uh, Rock hard, Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
The look and the rock hard does it makes you think Juice really? But I digress. I like Juice. I like his work. Throws a hell of a left hand, even with or without the roller quarters.
And
Uh,
the best thing he did was go to New Japan. The best thing he did.
I love that he went to New Japan because he went back and paid his dues. He started. He didn't go
Yep.
there as former WWE star C.J. Parker. He went back to the dojo, worked his way up as one of the young boys, and then
Yep.
got into that. Then he just moved on up, and now he's doing the best work of his career. Honestly,
He is.
how and I remember him. He wrestled for. He's from Joliet, so he wrestles Joliet shows for Ian for IWA here and there. But then he wasn't there long before WWE got him because he had a good look. And then
Right.
and then the rest is
Then
history.
they turned him into CJ Parker.
Yeah, that was not a fan of CJ
We won't
Parker.
talk about that part.
No, no. But no, we're both high on Juice. Uh, Gin and
Yeah.
Juice is a good Gin White Juice Robinson, as some people call him.
Yeah.
But
I'm okay with
all right,
it. I'm
so
all right with it.
yeah, all right, let's move on here. Keith Lee's dad. Uh, do do we know why he
I
dyed his hair
miss.
gray?
I don't think he dyed his hair gray. I think he let it go natural.
You think he just stopped? You think he just stopped dyeing his
I
hair?
think he quit. I think he quit dyeing his hair. I really do. I think he quit dyeing his hair.
Man,
Yeah,
ever since he had
he
that health
was
scare
so
in
over.
NXT,
Yeah, he was
he
so
hasn't been
over
the
in
same since
NXT,
he
and
took that time off. Uh,
no,
yeah.
I take that back.
He,
I did like him when he was with Swerve, when him and Swerve had their thing going,
well, yeah. Well, Swerve is
their
awesome.
tag team.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Didn't care
yeah.
for the
There you
name
go.
Swerve in Our Glory. It's kind of a cheesy name. Oh, what
Yeah.
did AJ
Yeah.
say?
Did you see that? No, Bari did.
Hang on. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Keith Lee is 12 days older than me. He looks 12 years older than you, my friend, because he's uh, man. He comes out.
Yeah.
He's gets blown up on his entrance. I think that's why they got him in tag teams all the time because he doesn't have the win to do singles.
Right. AJ. He said his reason for stopping dyeing his hair is because it's a personal middle finger to society standards of having to look a certain
All right.
way.
Yep. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. Uh,
You
we'll see.
keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to move on. A few arm enders from the
We could
Limit Full
just
Keith
skip to the
Lee.
next one for all I care.
No, we got to talk about the guy. He's
Uh,
a big deal. He's an
the one that
EVP.
had a smear on his face earlier.
Twinkle Toes
Yeah,
McFinger.
there's
Kenny Omega.
Twinkle Toes McFingerbang. Twinkle Toes.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
Uh,
what did you call him? Wait, what did you call this? Did you say? What did you say? Did you say Kenny Olivier?
no, I didn't say Kenny Olivier. I could have,
Oh, I
but
thought you said Kenny Olivier.
no, no. I'm trying to give him his respect and call him by his name. Uh, despite what we say about him, that match on Sunday with Osprey was really good. Uh, despite some
I will give him
questionable.
this. I respect a lot of what he does, a lot of the matches that he does do, but there's just some things that, dude, no, stop, or at least make it look better because it doesn't look good. Like the V trigger, ooh, Kenny Omega killed his freaking finish at Forbidden
He
Door.
killed his own finish. He kicked out a one-winged angel.
I know. He killed his own finish.
Ugh.
Why?
Well, I Florida Tony. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Menders, I'm going to let you talk for a bit about our buddy Twinkle Toes.
You're
I
going to
got
leave
to
me
read.
to talk about Kenny?
Oh, I've just got to turn off my headset and turn it back on again.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that match on Sunday with him, and if you get a chance to go back and watch it, if you haven't seen it already, go back, check out the Will Ospreay Kenny Omega match. Holy crap, Will Ospreay had some heat coming out to that. It was great. I'm sure we'll talk about Don Callis later. But yeah, that match was 39 minutes long. 39 minutes long match. It was great. It was it would be one of the ones that I would say, if you're going to watch a match by Kenny Omega, that would be one of the few I would watch. Are you back? Nope, you're not. Unmute yourself. He's
All right, how's
trying.
that?
There you are.
All right, we are back. All right. So I think we've given Twinkle Toes his due. I trust you put him
Yeah.
over to the moon while I was away.
I didn't do bad. I did say that he needed to, if you were going to watch a Kenny Omega match, go back and watch Forbidden Door with Will Ospreay. It was very good.
Yes.
It was a
Okay.
very good match.
All right. Well,
I
with
was
that, let's go.
nice for once.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go to somebody that we can spend much less time on. Super bad. Kip Sabian.
What does Corny call him? Corny has a name for him too.
Well,
Pip.
Pip.
Pip Sabian. Pip.
You know what? The guy's an athlete. He's good in the ring, but same deal. He's just kind
He
of lost
can't.
in the shuffle.
And he can't. He needs a good gimmick and not whatever they're doing with him right now.
Yeah, the box on the head or whatever it was.
Yeah. If I think that if he was, I don't know. They need to do something different with him, and I think he could be like a Ricky Starks if they would.
I didn't hate
You
what they
know,
were doing with him until Miro showed up and they put him with him. When it was just Kip and
yeah,
Penelope, I was fine with it. It was decent, but it's
pit
just
stop
yeah.
Penelope.
What? Penelope pit stop, yeah.
Nothing.
All right. Are we going to put a Cornet glossary on the bottom of the screen whenever we do these
Nope.
episodes?
If they don't know, they can figure it out the same way we did.
Yeah. AJ put it very
AJ
well
has a
here.
good point.
He's a smaller athletic guy with a couple cool moves and a roster full of small athletic guys with a couple cool moves. Not wrong. It's
Nope.
kind of a niche. It's kind of a niche audience, for a lot of these guys.
Very much
We
so.
can move, let's move on. Another guy we can put some time on.
I'm
Takeshita.
excited about this one. Yeah.
I like what they're doing with him because the babyface thing was not working with him.
No.
I couldn't get behind it. Put him with Don Callis is great because Callis is a great mouthpiece for a guy that I'm guessing his promos are going to be fairly limited with the language barrier.
Yes. Probably.
My only hope, do not put him with the BCC. He needs to be his own guy.
And I'm hoping they still kind of have him separated from him now. So
Kinda, yeah. But they put him in the match at
keep
Forbidden
it that
Door.
way.
But
They put him in the match, but
I think that was just because of the Elite was the opponents.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking All In is probably going to be him and Omega, right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's do that.
Because they're not going to do. I don't think they're going to do a rematch with Omega and Ospreay hit the All In at Wembley.
No, Zack Sabre Jr. needs to be on that card. I'm sorry, but he does.
If I was hoping that we were going to get Sabre Jr. against Danielson, but now that Danielson's hurt, it's probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
I thought I heard a rumor that they were going to put a blood and guts match at All In, but I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Because Tony.
Lazy booking.
Yep. They should
Are
put
we
that on
moving
a
on?
t-shirt. Yeah.
It is on a t-shirt. I have it on 2 T-shirts actually.
Oh, you got a spare?
No, I have the I
Oh
hate
no,
lazy
oh
looking shirt
oh
too.
oh, I got you. I got you. All right.
The
Well, let's move
jumping the
on.
rail one.
Yes. I forgot all about that. What kind of businessman am I? Uh, Next guy on the list. He's been out for a good while, almost a year.
But God, I love
Kyle
him.
O'Reilly.
I
He's so
love
good.
him.
I love his style. He's just, you know, nothing
Yes.
flashy. Just beat the crap out of you. I'm sure when he comes back, they're gonna put him with Cole and Roddy. Uh,
I hope so. Let's get another Red Dragon going without Fish.
yeah, and I could almost see them bringing Fish back, but if it's to put him with O'Reilly again, I'm
And
good with it because I mean it goes back to what we were saying about the tag teams. Red Dragon would be a great addition to the tag team division.
yeah, it would. Remember, and I still remember, what was it last year? Was it All In? It was Jungle Express, Red Dragon, and the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah, and then I
And
think
everybody
wasn't
wanted,
it wasn't it Goto and Yoshihashi in there too?
no, not, this was a triple threat. It was only a triple threat for the tag belts.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Because it was the one that you guys, I can remember us talking about making our picks on Jumping the Rail beforehand. And you guys were like, oh no, Red Dragon's going to take it. Red Dragon. I said, I want
And you
Red
picked the
Dragon to take
Bucks.
it. No, I didn't. I picked Jurassic Express
Oh,
because
that's right.
I pulled my belt rule and
Uh-huh.
multi-man matches, which backfired on me Saturday, but that's okay.
Oh shit, Saturday. Oh,
Yep.
at the indie you went to?
No, at the end you went to.
Oh yeah.
It would
And
have
we'll talk
backfired
about
on
that.
me
And we'll talk all
tomorrow.
about that on the 0-1 shootout tomorrow. Not a lot to say about O'Reilly. He
He's
could
been
be
out for too long. It's hard to say anything. Yeah.
yeah. When he comes back, if he's healthy, he could be a really effective single. I mean, he was Ring of Honor World Champion after all, but also a natural
He had a
tag
hell
team
of a run
guy.
in
So
he had a hell of a run in NXT too when he was fighting Cole.
yeah. Oh man, I love that feud. That's
That was
that that's a
great.
feud. That's a feud like Steen and Owen, like Steen and Zayn. You could have
Yep.
across territories anytime you can dust it off and be in good shape. But I think we
That
can
was
move on.
fun. AJ, nope, put up the AJ's comment.
Oh, oh yeah. The one pay-per-view where he wrestled Darby and Darby did a dive and Kyle caught him with the guillotine. That was
Mm-hmm.
smooth. That was smooth. All right. So let's move on. This guy. What the fuck are they doing with Lance Archer?
And they've wasted him. They are
He should
wasting him.
he should be AEW's version of Bruiser Brody. He should be the biggest
Yes.
monster heel they've got. They tried it with Hangman. For some reason, they didn't stick with it when he challenged him for the belt. Uh, I mean, obviously he can't go after MJF, but put him with Wardlow. That would
Yeah.
be just a big old hoss
I,
fight. But Archer, he's got the polish. He can move. He can fly around if he needs to. That rope walk moonsault thing is just insane that he
yeah.
does. I know,
Hey,
like the
he yeeted Joey O'Reilly out of a ring during a dark match, so I'm down with it.
oh, he did Joey O'Reilly. Oh,
No, the
Joey,
actual
yeah.
Joey O'Reilly.
Oh, not Joey O'Gunn.
No, not Joey O'Gunn.
Okay, AJ, he's been hurt for a good chunk of the. Okay, well that makes sense then. When he
Okay.
comes back, but even when he comes back, they don't do anything with him.
They won't do anything with him.
I think I do think he's going to be in the G1 for New Japan, so he'll be out for
Oh,
at
is
least two
he?
months.
Oh, so he will be
Yeah,
out for a while.
him also Eddie Kingston will be in the G1. So
Okay.
all right, so let's move on. Another guy we can just kind of dance over, Lee
Yeah, as I
Johnson.
say, I'm not. Yeah,
He's a
see,
Nightmare Factory
I
guy.
know
I think he's banging
he's a
Julia Hart.
well, he's a small guy with a couple cool moves, with a bunch of small guys with a couple cool
Yeah,
moves.
yeah.
There's not
I
much
think
to say
that's
about him.
yeah. I think we can move on
Yep.
to
Next.
Lee number two. This guy, Lee Moriarty, I'm actually very high on. I talked about him a little bit when we talked about Big Bill.
I'm
Hell of
so
a
glad he got
worker.
rid of the green hair.
Yeah. Uh, Floundering in the firm. He
Yes.
could. He's a guy you need to put in ROH. He had a match with Shibata on Ring of Honor TV that was really good. and
I could see
no
that.
bullshit, no interference. He just had a really good match with Shibata, and I want to see him do more of that without having Stokely or Morrissey or Ethan or any of those guys gumming up the works, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
that's
we
all
can
I got
pretty
to
much
say
move on
about.
from that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, here we go. Lee Moriarty and Daniel Garcia had good matches on the. Yeah, I saw them in Black Label
Yep.
Pro and really good. All right, let's move on. The TNT champion, Luchasaurus. Uh, they're
Dino
finally
douche.
they're finally figuring him out after
Thank God.
4 years of being Jungle Boy's dinosaur.
Buddy.
Yeah, and they put him with Christian, make him a heel, changed his look up. I mean, that guy looks like a
They
million
also,
bucks.
you forget, they also put him with Marco Stunt at the beginning.
Well, yeah, I think that was an effort to make him look huge.
Probably. Well, everybody looks huge next to Marco. AJ looks huge next to Marco.
Joey Janela looks
Sorry, I
huge
should.
next to Marco Stunt. Jelly Nutella, as Corny used to call him.
Joey Nutella.
I don't know that I would have put the TNT title on Luchasaurus. I would have put it on Christian outright and had Lucha be his heater.
No,
But
I think they're doing it right because,
you think so?
well, to an extent. To an extent,
Well,
I think they're doing it right.
if they keep going the way they're going, then you might have a
It's
babyface
Christian's belt
Luchasaurus.
anyway. But it's Christian's belt anyway. I don't care if Luchasaurus
Yeah,
won
just
it or
ask him.
not. It's Christian's belt. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anything else to add about Luchasaurus Benders?
Nope.
All right. Moving on.
Oh, jeez.
Luther. I have a question.
Okay.
Is Luther still there just because he's friends with Jericho?
Yes.
All right, moving on. All right, next guy. I got nothing to say about Luther. I mean, I'm sure he's a
I
nice
have
guy, but I haven't
nothing.
seen much of his work. He's usually a fast forward option or time to go take a piss.
Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot about that,
Luchasaurus,
AJ,
former
actually.
Lucha. Man, we have to bring AJ on for a Lucha Underground episode just to
Oh,
educate
it'd
me.
be fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we could. Yeah, we can. Both of us can educate you. I made
All
it
right.
through 3 seasons. There's 4
Okay,
or 5. I don't remember.
gotcha. All right. Well, let's move on, Menders. We're rolling. We're into the M's.
We are. We're only at
Malachi
a
Black.
2-hour mark.
We're
I
gonna have to make
love
this a two.
Malachi.
We may need to make this a two-part episode, Menders.
We might have to do a 2-parter. Yeah.
Maybe get through the men
But
tonight and then do the tag teams and the ladies and everybody the next
yeah,
episode.
well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
yeah. Malachi's so good.
I loved Malachi when he was Alistair. So I I'm still a little confused at what all they're doing with him. I mean, I get what they're doing, but he should have been in the run for the title. He
Yeah.
really should have.
At the very least, a TNT title when Cody had it.
Yeah,
When Malachi debuted and took out Cody, that should have been him going for the
yeah,
TNT title, and he should have won it. Should have had like an undefeated streak like Wardlow did.
yep.
And yeah, so yeah, another guy they just kind of missed the mark on at first.
Oh, there's a lot of guys they've missed the mark on at
Oh yeah,
first. There's a
yeah,
lot of them.
yeah. But yeah, then but I like the
But what
House of
he's doing
Black in
now isn't
general.
terrible. I was gonna say
No,
what he's doing right now isn't terrible.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely an upgrade. They got a belt on him at least.
Yeah.
But I mean, for what the trio's title is worth, I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think we can move on from Malachi here. This guy, we're gonna have a discussion now.
Are we? That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Mark Briscoe,
Mark
this guy,
Briscoe.
man.
Another
If
guy they
there's
missed the boat on.
if you look up the term dropping the ball in the dictionary, you're gonna get a picture of Mark Briscoe.
Yep.
Shows up, I mean, horrible circumstances for his debut, obviously, but gets a win on
You know
Lethal.
what
Then they,
though? There was no better time for him to show up, honestly.
yeah, but man,
For all
I
the
wish.
love that was there, for all the
Well, yeah,
love that was there. And
yeah,
I wish they could have brought them both in.
yeah. Oh
But
man. But
stupid
here's my
network.
question: if they would have brought, yeah, Time Warner sucks eggs, right?
Yep.
If Jay was still around, and this is, I know it's complete like hindsight, whatever.
Hmm.
Is this what they would have had Jay Briscoe doing? have the Briscoes feuding with Jarrett and Lethal and
I don't
doing
think
all
so.
this
I
horse
think
shit.
I think we would have got FTR and Briscoes again.
I
If
would
they were
hope so.
smart, that's what they would have
Yeah.
done. If they were
It
smart.
almost
Well,
it
wait.
almost
I forgot who we're
it
talking about.
it almost seems like Tony's taking advantage of Mark by putting him in this ridiculous stuff. Team up with Aubrey. I mean, I'm okay with him bringing Papa Briscoe in every now and then. That's
Mhm.
awesome. I love Papa Briscoe. But the concession stand brawl with Jarrett,
Was
the
stupid.
the stupid video
Oh,
on the farm.
speaking of the concession stand brawl, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize this, but I found it out later. One of the girls that threw some crap on the guys during it,
Uh-huh.
we know
Really?
it was Blair Onyx.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yep,
Who would
I
have
didn't
thought?
realize it until they did a still frame of it. I was like, holy crap, that's Blair.
Oh wow. So, but yeah, Briscoe, at very least, I would have had him challenge Claudio after he
Yes,
debuted, and have him.
yes,
I'd have him win the title.
I would have too.
Uh,
It there's no reason that he shouldn't have. There really
no,
isn't.
no. I mean, he's. It's not like he's just the Johnny Come Lately. He's been there for 20 years and never
Yeah,
had a singles title. Everything he ever won was tag team with Jay.
it's kind of
But
crazy
yeah,
how
I
much
digress.
they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah. So I'd like to
I
hope.
was looking here.
I'd like to hope that they'll get it right, but we can.
They're I think they've missed it already.
I think so too. Best bet they can have is send him back to Ring of Honor or make him like the TV champion or something.
There's Blair.
Oh, oh
Throw
yeah,
in the
sure enough.
water.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's a pistol, that Blair Onyx.
She is. I like Blair.
Didn't she
But
beat Blue
anyway,
Sky once?
yep, sure did.
All right. So we got a couple. And what I'm going to do, Menders, we're coming up on the end of the M's. I'm going to put a pin in this until next episode. We're going to continue this.
Okay.
But we're going to get through the M. We got three more guys, and then we're out of the M's.
Okay.
And the first one we can actually pretty much skim over. I
Skip
like the
over,
guy.
yeah.
I like the
I do
guy, but
too.
they're not doing anything with him. Matt Sydal. I think he might be in Ring of
It's
Honor a
so
little
funny.
bit.
I always have to remind myself that that's Evan Bourne.
Uh-huh. Such an awesome high flyer. I love this tag team with
Yep.
Ricochet in Japan. Uh, yeah, just uh, it's one of the guys that they just don't know where to put, like what to do with him,
Yeah.
which is kind of wrong because he's a veteran. He's in great shape still. He hasn't lost a step. But
Nope.
again, it goes back to the smaller guy with cool moves and company full of small guys with cool moves.
Yep.
Yeah, which is a
We need to put that on a shirt.
that's a little wordy, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, AJ, he and Daniels are teaming up in Ring of Honor. That makes sense because they were former tag team champions,
Yep.
so they're still doing the thing. That's good for Daniels too. Give him get somebody to work with, so he's not doing
Yep.
pulling the load, so to speak. All right, next. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. So next
I'm
up,
excited this guy's back. I'm
the
so
Redeemer.
excited this
I
guy's
am so
back.
happy that Miro's back. Looks good, working good.
And and back as
They,
a monster. He's not
yeah,
back as freaking
he's just
video
running through
game
everybody.
dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, he's apparently renounced his god and his possessions and his wife now, according to his
Oh,
promo.
okay.
Apparently, he didn't feel like his god redeemed him sufficiently and put him on the shelf and all that. So we're gonna get another kind of a tweak to Miro's character. So I'm curious. But
Yeah.
I've always been a fan. Uh,
Oh, me too.
even when he was Rusev, he was so good. When he had the brown leather diaper and the taped up feet, when he was doing the looked like a kind of like a sumo.
Man,
But
him and Cena in
oh yeah,
WWE was really good.
yes. The Russian chain match, but it was like a dog leash match because it was kind of a small chain. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. The last guy we're going to get into today, Minders, in the next episode. And who knows? Maybe we'll do an episode next Tuesday, Minders, just to get through the rest of the list.
Get through the rest of the list. Okay.
Yeah,
We might be able to do that.
a special extra
I
episode.
kind of doubt it. I kind
Why?
of doubt it. It's July 4th.
Oh shit. Maybe we'll do it on a different day. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it next Thursday. We'll think about it.
Okay, let's wait.
Keep
We'll think
Yeah.
about it because I
Keep
don't
an
know
eye
what's
on our
happening on Thursday.
socials. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to
because
figure
I
it
don't know
out.
what's happening on Thursday night at Throwdown, so we
Yeah,
might
this is
have to
true.
make a trek
Well,
down. So
yeah, this is very true. All right. Well, let's get into the last guy, and kind of a fitting guy to end up with, Menders. He's our
it's
world
one of my
heavyweight champion.
favorites.
Look at that guy, Maxwell
That
Jacob
guy.
Friedman, in his with the pinstripe better than you suit and the scarf.
Yes,
Uh, I know he's one of your
that's
favorites,
my
Menders.
champ. That's my champ.
Is he your favorite
But
wrestling meetup?
yes, yeah, he's my favorite wrestling meetup. Well,
It could have been Billy Gunn.
no. Well, it could have been, but not anymore. Um, I don't know. Mick Foley's up there with one of my favorite wrestling meetups, and Uncle Fred.
Oh, Uncle Fred was
So
so nice.
he was.
Uh,
I loved Uncle Fred.
I'll tell you what, Tito Santana went up to the top of the list this year at the Expo.
Yeah. No,
It's him and
MJF
Steamboat.
for the fact that MJF did not throw my shirt at me, I was pretty ecstatic. So
Yeah. Oh, imagine if you'd
I
been in the
really thought he
wheelchair.
might. Oh God, I can only imagine.
Oh man.
I'd been Hot Wheels going across the. He would have called me Hot Wheels.
Yep.
But
Oh man.
yeah,
I would have
MJF.
arranged for
What
you to
can
get a I would have arranged for you to get a rascal to just drive up to him just to see what happened.
he would stand up and say, "See, I'm better than you."
Pretty much.
Oh,
Uh,
MJF is so good. There's
he
so
is
many people though that don't get it, and it drives me crazy at times. They say he's too much of a dick. I don't think he's too much of a dick. I think he's the
there's
right amount of
if you're
dick.
if you're if there if he
Shut
was
up, Mark.
if you're a heel, there's no such thing as too much of an asshole.
Right.
I mean, there's a limit, obviously, but my only issue with MJF right now, it seems like his promos are kind of getting kind of repetitive.
Repetitive.
It's
Yep.
kind of the same
I'll agree.
formula. Uh, I was Adam Cole out promoted him a couple weeks ago. Ricky Starks out promoted him in early 2023 when they had their short little run.
Yeah.
Oh
AJ.
Lord.
I saw that
Oh
too.
my God.
That's what I was
Uh,
figuring why he would do it.
all right. Well,
But yeah, I mean, there's nobody better to have that belt on right now.
no.
There really isn't.
Right now, no. Definitely not.
No.
Until Pockets dethrones him.
Oh, as much as we're all looking forward to that, because you know
Yeah.
it's happening.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we'll put a pin in the AEW chat for now. We'll start up with the ends on the next episode.
Can't we? Can't we just go ahead? Seriously, can we get? Okay, so I have this on a regular. How about let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and that'll
Four
have us
more.
at the P's.
All right. We can do that. All right. Let me get because
Because
they
what
shouldn't take
two
long.
two of them, 3 of them, we're gonna practically skip over
Yeah. We can do that. All
because we
right.
got
Let me get my graphics
get
organized.
your graphics. I say only one of these guys are we really going to talk about
One
because
and
the
a
other
half.
guys haven't been around.
Yeah. Although I do have thoughts about one of them.
Oh, I'm
All
sure
right.
you do, and it's probably the one right after the one I'm talking about.
Actually, no. All right. So first guy
Hmm?
on the list, Nick Camarado. We've alluded to him a little bit when we talked about Aaron Solo. Let me find my notes. Like I said, I like his look. You know, he's a brawler,
He's
big
got a
hairy
great
guy.
look.
Uh, but he is another one languishing in QTV land, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because he's a Nightmare Factory guy. So he's one of Cody's trainees, and QT was one of the guys who ran the school. So it's like QT's just bringing his trainees in just to get him heat.
Right.
And you know QT has a
Oh,
hand in the creative. Also been
yeah.
working in ROH. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, there's potential there, and it's not like he's a bad worker or anything. It's just they
He
don't.
could be a beast. They
Oh
could
yeah,
make him a beast,
definitely. Yeah,
but
I would.
not there
What I
yet.
would do with him, I would put him with the Righteous in Ring of Honor with Vincent and Stu Grayson. Make him a wild guy,
I mean, yeah,
and
okay.
let him be let him be a beast.
Let him be a beast.
Yeah, but that's all I got
He's
really
got.
about. That's
Yeah, me
that's
too.
my note. Fifth banana to QT is a horrible spot to be in, which is true. All right. So next up,
And then
we're talking about
we've
Tony's
talked about
puppy pockets. We talked about pockets a lot already.
little
Uh,
puppy pockets.
anything? The backpack's got to go. I think we
Yeah, I'm
agree.
tired of carrying the belt with the backpack.
He's got a very nice championship belt. Wear the fucking thing like a normal
Right.
person. Don't wear a fucking backpack like you're taking a walk of shame from Halsey Hall and Ohio State University back to your fraternity house. I
Yeah.
feel like my metaphor has been labored. Uh, I don't have a whole lot to say about pockets we haven't said before. What are you thinking? Any
Like I
thoughts about
said,
our
just
next
when
world
he
champion?
not really. I except he just the guy can work. He can work.
He can.
He had a
He
who
choose
was it? Buddy. He had a great match with Buddy.
great match with Buddy. Great match with
Um,
Osprey.
great match with Osprey. He can work. It's just the gimmick that I'm so over.
He's a
But
prisoner
that's
of his
what's
own gimmick.
making him money. Yeah,
Hmm. And
it's
that's what it boils
frustrating
down to. It just comes
because
down to
it's
money.
but it's
And there's
hard to
nothing
take
wrong
him
with that.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Well, I think we can move on from pockets. I'm sorry, Orange Cassidy. I met him back when he was Fire Ant in Chikara. He was
Oh
a
yeah.
luchador. Yeah, didn't talk, but
He
just
doesn't
mask.
talk now.
No, but he was in a red bodysuit with a mask. He was an ant,
Ah.
part of the colony.
Oh jeez.
It was
Okay.
funny. There's another one named Worker Ant. Pun, get it?
Oh
Then
jeez.
then Green Ant, who was a rookie. I forget who was under the Green Ant mask. I'd have to do some research.
Did
And
Russo
then
book this?
no, Quackenbush booked this.
Oh, okay.
But
Is that any
Bryce
better?
Rimsberg was also in Chikara. That for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Not a knock on Bryce. I like Bryce, but
Yeah.
anyway, I think we can move on from Orange Cassidy. The guy I
This is
like.
who now I would say this is who I thought you would have a lot to say about.
Here's my thought. They fucked Ortiz up so bad. I don't know if there's a personal issue with him and Santana, but Proud and Powerful should have been tag team champions a long time ago.
Yes.
Uh, Going back to when they got roped into the inner circle, like we said with Hager, they
Yep.
should have just been on their own, just be a team, and they were better than every other tag team until FTR showed up.
Yep.
I will say they were the best tag team in AEW until FTR showed up.
Well, don't say that too loud. You're gonna make the Bucks jealous.
What are they gonna do? Come into my locker room and kick my dog?
Yeah. Hey, AJ's got a good point.
Him and Santana need to squash their beef, and I agree, 100% agree. Just get over it, be a tag team, because they're more valuable as a team than they are as singles.
Yes.
I
Are
mean, they
they
tried
both healthy
Ortiz.
now?
Santana, I think, is due to come back. I'm not sure about
Is he due?
Ortiz. I think he
Okay.
is. I know he's still under contract, so uh, I know they tried Ortiz with Kingston, which kind of worked as a like a pairing, but not as a team, really.
Yeah. They worked as what they needed to
Kingston with
do.
Santana Ortiz works better than just Kingston and Ortiz
Yeah.
because I like the three of them as a group. It's kind of the old LAX formula.
Right.
All right, last guy here, and this is another guy I want to talk about a little bit here. Get the bastard Pack.
Yeah.
Man,
I miss Pack. I'm missing Pack.
can I make a hot take here, Menders?
Sure.
I think Pack is the best worker they have.
I think he is too.
Uh,
And I don't know if it's because of his size or what, but
See, he trumps
You
all of
know,
the smaller guys with cool moves because he's got the best body control I think I may have ever seen in a wrestler. Uh, Look, he's jacked. He can fly. He can do the
hmm
power stuff. He can do everything. He can do everything that you want somebody to do that's in your main event picture. He's beaten Omega two or
yes.
three times. Uh, First All Atlantic champion. I think he should have been world champion at least once at this point.
AJ, don't tease me with a good time.
Oh boy, what did he say? Always like
You
Pac.
always like Pac.
Oh,
Get him in there
dude,
with Zack
you
Sabre
know what?
Jr.
I will not be surprised in the least to see Pac at Wembley, but I just don't know what
I
they would
won't
do with him.
either. That's what they
But
could do
no,
with it though, and do a one-off. But you got to get Zack Sabre over there.
do I dare dream that Pac beats Pockets and gets his belt back, and then
Oh
that
God.
opens up that opens up Pockets to go
Oh,
after
but then
MJF?
that's. Oh, I'm not ready for that yet,
It's
Mark.
it's it's a slippery slope. I mean, I want to see Pac back and successful, but do I want it so much that
And
it
I
means
want
that
him
Orange
away.
Cassidy
I
gets a shot
want
at
him,
MJF?
and he needs to be away from the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the Death Triangle. I'd almost see him.
I am
He
not.
would almost make more sense in the House of Black than Buddy Matthews
I will actually agree.
to an extent. I'd rather see him
Yeah.
as on his own, or put him
Well,
with
yeah.
Seidel. There's a tag team. But Pac is that ornery heel. When he was the king of the cruiserweights, he was awesome in WWE,
Yes. And then
and
Enzo
I miss
happened.
it. Yeah, then Enzo
I do
happened.
too. Then Enzo
But
happened.
yeah, so that's my take on Pac. I'm such a fan of Pac. He's so good, and
Yes.
yeah.
All right, now stick a pin in us.
All right, let me see. Where did my picture go?
Although we could, you know what? If we go over the next one, that would leave a good one for us to start off on.
All right.
But
Although I
we're
think my
ending on a
picture
really
froze.
crappy note. Did it? Oh no,
Yeah,
are we stuck with Pac on our screen
the
now?
Pac is frozen on our screen, which is
Yay!
off-putting. Hang on. I got a solution here. Hang on.
All right.
There we go. That got Pac off.
Yeah, I got Pac off. Oh
Oh,
God.
AJ chimed in. Only issue with pushing Pac is visa issues traveling from England to the U.S. I think that's why they put
Yeah.
the All Atlantic title on in the first place, because he was taking it around to the overseas territories and defending it.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there. But we will finish up with this list on the next episode because it's a big roster, so we want to have figured it just makes more sense
We're
to.
not even through all the guys yet. We still have.
Hey, we're into the P's or
We
through the
are.
P's. Are we through the P's?
No, we're not through the P's.
Oh, we haven't got to Parker
We,
Boudreaux yet, but
we're Powerhouse. So
oh yeah, I got stuff to say about Powerhouse, but
I'm sure you do.
that'll be for another time. Uh, we're at 2.5 hours, Minders, so we're not doing too bad. Hey, if we would have stuck with
We're
the
about
list,
where I thought we would be.
yeah, if we'd have done the full list, we'd be at about 5 hours, and that's not good
Yeah,
because I have to be up
let's
at
not
5 in the
pull a
morning.
corny. Yeah, let's
All
not pull
right.
a corny.
Well, let's get to some of the usual business, Minders, and here we go. All right, it is Hall of Fame time. Get off your phone, Minders.
Sorry.
Uh, Professionalism.
Well,
All
hey,
right,
we're all about professionalism here.
that's aren't we though? Jumping the
Yeah.
rail Hall of Fame. Uh, we got a lot of tag teams and managers and great wrestlers in there. We haven't had any announcers in there yet, Minders, and
Alrighty.
that needs to be rectified. So I made the call. I'm putting in my opinion, the greatest announcer in the history of professional wrestling. There he is.
There he is.
Yep. Don't let the graininess of the picture diminish his ability. But Jim Ross. Uh,
He's starting to make me sad, though.
yeah, he's taken some time away. He was a little hoarse on the collision a couple weeks ago, and then he also
Yeah.
he had a fall, got a black eye out of it, so he's having some issues. So we send all of our good thoughts to Jr. We always I've always been a fan going way back.
I have
Uh,
to.
yeah. But have you ever seen this picture, Menders? Check this young guy out.
Oh, look at the youngin'.
When he first broke into business, Bill Watts made him a referee. This was, I think, 1974, if my math is right,
Jeez.
if going by his book. Uh, but yeah, he started out as a referee before he got into the office and the announcing and all that stuff. So, and he was in shape. Look at that. He was not a
He
bad looking
was.
chap there. But that didn't last long, Menders, and then moved on to ring announcing. This is all in Mid
There we
South.
go.
Yeah, this is Mid South here, under Bill Watts, of course, was this
Yep.
guy. He was like a substitute announcer for Boyd Pierce, their regular play-by-play guy sometimes, and he would always call the matches with Bill Watts, and it must have been terrifying because Bill was very particular, as I understand it.
Yes, he was.
But every now and then, once he got the full-time announcing gig, look at that guy,
There you go. Oh, and
Jim
look who's
Ross and Jim
next to
Cornette.
him.
Yeah, and man, I loved hearing the back and forth between Ross and Corny back in the day. They would just
Almost
Jim
as good
Ross
as JR and the King.
almost, but it was more like Corny would insult JR, then Ross would give it right back. It was just good
Yeah.
stuff. Oh man. Uh, so Mid South, of course, he was the voice of Mid South up until they sold out to Crockett. I want to share something with you, Menders. I have a clip because I want to share my favorite Jim Ross call of all time. It was from
Okay.
UWF in '86, I want to say. It's Eddie. It involves Eddie Gilbert, the Russians, Bill Watts, and then all hell breaks loose. It's Jim Ross and Michael Hayes on the call here.
Okay.
About time. Belly. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. That's the Koloff. The Koloff. The Koloff. And they've got Watts down. Jingo. They've got that chain. Up. The Koloff. He suckered him in. I can't believe it. Gilbert. He got the shuttle. Gilbert hit Watts with a shovel. Man, he planted it. Boy, you know what, man? That makes me go to sleep better tonight. He had me fooled. I thought he was bellowing at me. The Russians are taking over on Watts. Gilbert sucked Watts in. Look, he's fighting that head. The Koloff. They're choking him. He hit him again. What a plant. That's almost as good as any Bad Street plant. They're whipping the Cowboy with that chain. They're stomping him. He got out of his position. He should have known not to mess with wrestlers anymore. He's the president. What are they doing? Gilbert. He's showing that flag. He never intended. Oh. They put the flag. And Doc fighting Duggan. There's a fight back here. But they put the flag over the Cowboy. Look at that. Look at that. I can't believe it. Nothing's ever happened like this. The flag's over him. And he doesn't even know it. He's knocked out. The worst nightmare in his life. He's knocked out. Look at the fight going on. The Blade Runners are holding him off. Here comes Doc. Watts is bloody. The flag landing on him. The Russian flag. The cameraman's been knocked around. They're holding him off. Duggan and Williams and DiBiase trying to come Duggan. A good right hand. They wouldn't have got rid of us, but they still did the number. Look, he's down, and he's got that flag for a bit. They had the flag on him. They better bury him. They better put him away right here. I'll guarantee you. It looks to me like they did. If he is breathing, they better go ahead and finish it. They put that Russian flag on him. The fans are getting out of their seats. This place is mayhem. The Watts, I love it. There you see young Eric Watts in the ring. Violence, look, violence. I love it. Cowboys better at night. Everybody's concerned Watts is taking. They've hit him with a shovel in the face. They've hit him with a chain. They battered his face with a shovel. That's his son out there. Here goes Joe Watts. Joe Watts coming out of the truck. The director of the show, I don't know who's. Well, I guess I'd come out too if it was my
Micah,
father.
there you see Micah, Bill's three sons at his side.
Well, I guess so. If I was laid out like that, I'd hope my sons would come out there.
Well, I don't know what more I can say, everybody, that hasn't already been said about this situation. We've had calls and inquiries from all the top wrestling writers around the country. Cowboy Bill Watts has refused to talk to a lot of people about this situation. And Eddie Gilbert said a very
Feels, am I right?
Feels.
You got
Well, I hope my kids will come out.
Hayes is awesome too. So I don't know if you noticed that, Menders. After the Russians and Gilbert beat up on Watts in the aisleway, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ted DiBiase, and Dr. Death Steve Williams run out to save him. The two guys in the aisle fighting him off were the Blade Runners, which is Sting and the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh wow.
So that was all. They were all Eddie Gilbert's guys. He was like their manager. But man, just you can have, as God is my witness, he's broken in half. Give me Bill Watts getting hit in the face with a shovel by Russians and draping the flag over him. Jim Ross is losing his goddamn mind. And
Yep.
man, oh my God, it's so good. Ugh. And
Speaking of the
and the-
Bugatti broken in half, check out YouTube at WWE.
yeah. But watching, even when they were walking back, when the fans wanted to riot. That's heat for you.
That's
can't get heat
back
like that
when
anymore.
Wrestling was fun.
Yeah.
That's when wrestling was fun.
That's why Cornette put a friggin' horseshoe in his tennis racket every night, because people wanted to
Right?
kill him. But all right. But anyway, so I figured that would put a pin in JR in Mid-South. Moves on to the NWA after Watts sells out. Look at that mustachioed handsome devil there next to Jim Ross. Who would have thought that, I don't know, 30 some years later they'd be paired up again?
Right?
But this is when they were doing the TVs in studio. Here's when he would host the pay-per-views and in the tuxedo with and I'm sure Barry would agree with this. He was kind of the voice of our childhood for pay-per-views back in the day for all the WCW fans and NWA fans back in the day. And what does, let's say, 12, 13 years of respect and dignity get you, Menders? Menders is gone, but look at this. Jim Ross finally gets to the WWF, put him in a fucking toga at WrestleMania 9. It's kind of a dubious start to his WWF career. The show was actually, people crap on WrestleMania 9, but, hang on, Menders is back in.
I'm back.
All right.
I don't know what happened. That was just StreamYard kicked me out. That was weird.
I see. Well, I'm surprised I haven't started getting time cues from Noodles yet. But look at this guy, Menders. Put him in a toga at WrestleMania.
The worst WrestleMania ever, but yeah.
Actually, I disagree. Not the worst WrestleMania ever. WrestleMania
It's pretty
11.
bad.
Actually, I don't mind it necessarily. There's a couple stinkers in there. I'll tell you, there's something fun on YouTube, Menders, and they had a dark match on WrestleMania. It was El Matador against, I think, Papa Shango. But
Really?
it's just Jim Ross calling it, and it's like, I guess they were doing like checking levels, or he's kind of getting his feet wet, talking, and there's parts where he's talking, and I forget what he said, but then all of a sudden he says, "Okay, Bruce, I'll remember that." So clearly Pritchard was in his ear in the back, telling him, like, giving him tips and like make sure you say this or put this over. So that's a cool little Easter egg to find on YouTube. You can hear him kind of calling this dark match. It's almost like a rehearsal, but it was cool.
Yeah.
We can't talk about Jim Ross, Menders, without talking about these super cool Monday Night Raw jackets that they had to wear. Those are sharp. I'm just going to say it. I wish I could find one of those. AEW can have their blazers with the logo on them. Give me the jacket like this.
Yep.
This was when they were doing the three-man booth, Vince and the King and JR. I think this was right after he started wearing the hat, which I think was Vince's call. Shocking.
Well, that's fine by me. Shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me.
Hack it up.
Sorry about that. Hack it. That's what I've been doing. All right, but here you go. Look at this.
There we go.
Greatest announced team of all time. Your call. What do you think?
It's
up there.
Torn. It's up there. It is. It's probably in my top 3.
I put this right up there with Gorilla and Jesse, and then Gorilla and Heenan. I think that's my top three.
I would say Gorilla and Heenan is right up there. And I liked JR and Heyman when they
I do
were.
like JR and Heyman.
I
They
like
did
JR
some
and
stuff in
Heyman.
WCW too.
Yeah.
But
So, like I
I've
said,
got to put
JR is usually one of my top three.
yeah, I would put JR and the King at number one just because JR is so much better than Gorilla at play-by-play.
But Heenan's better
Just
than the King.
true. There was a time when WrestleMania like early '93 was JR, Heenan, and Macho.
Oh.
So
Yeah, because I
you
remember
got
when
JR
Macho
and
was
Heenan.
doing.
So we got JR and
Yeah.
Heenan here and there. But yeah, so nice long run. Some questionable booking choices for JR, making him join the Kiss My Ass Club, Dr. Heine. We can go on. But
Yeah.
all awful. Triple having to wrestle sometimes. I think he did beat Triple H though. Uh, but eventually, there you see, he went into the Hall of Fame, and
As
his
he
was one of my
should.
favorite. His was one of my favorite speeches. You might not know this, Menders. I was in the Allstate Arena the night they announced he was going into Hall of Fame at a Monday Night
Oh, were
Raw.
you?
Yeah, and he got
How big was the pop?
a huge pop, a good 5 minute standing ovation.
Aw.
It was so cool. It was awesome. That was my favorite
Well,
part
I
of the
mean,
show.
if you think about it, everybody that's our age, JR is a huge part of our lives. He was
Oh
a
yeah,
huge part.
absolutely. But yeah, so eventually here, look at that. Here's what he's
Eh,
doing these days. You got
poor
Excalibur
thing.
and Tony. I think
Every
I
time he
don't.
sits down at that table, does he just look like he's like, ugh?
You know what? Sometimes it sounds like that. If you listen if you watch Double or Nothing this past May during
Mm-hmm.
the Jericho Cole match, at one point Sabu jumps on him on everybody, and Jericho goes, "Isn't he the referee?" And he seemed almost gobsmacked at this. What the hell's going on here? Kind
Yeah.
of way. I'm not one to run a book club or anything, but I do recommend JR. His has two autobiographies that are really good. Uh, Slobberknocker, My Life in
Slobber
Wrestling.
knocker.
I actually got the audio versions on Audible, and he does the narration. So it's him literally
Nice.
telling you stories in your ear. And then the next one that came out, I think it came out not long after AEW started, Under the Black Hat, which is an awesome name for a
Mm-hmm.
book. Uh,
Yep.
yeah. The first book is basically about his career, like through WWE, and then like I think it's up through WrestleMania 15 when he comes back from his
Okay.
Bell's palsy, and then the next book picks up from there and moves on. But both really good reads. I recommend them definitely. Uh, but yeah, so Jim Ross, I'm kind of mad at myself for not putting him in sooner, but definitely
It's
a
all right.
deserving inductee into our Hall of Fame there. So if I ever meet him, I'll give him a plaque or something.
I have
I
a
wonder
feeling we probably won't meet him. I have a feeling.
unless he's at the expo. That'd be cool.
It would be
They
cool,
have
but I don't know
AEW.
if he
They have
would.
AEW talent at the expo,
I know they had lots of AEW talent at the expo.
and it's not during football season, so he won't be at the Sooners games.
That's
But I
true.
digress. I digress. But anyway,
But he
let's
might not
move
want to
on.
be around all those people.
It might be too people-y for him. That's true.
Two people-y.
Too people-y, yeah. All right. Well, Menders, we got a couple more orders of business before we say goodbye this time. We're coming up on 2:45, so we might be able to get out of here at the 3 hour mark.
Woohoo! Maybe.
We can
I
hope.
don't know, because if the top 10's what I think it is, I'm gonna have lots to say.
Okay. Well, on that note. All right, so it is Tuesday, so we got to do our top 10 Tuesday here, Menders. And this week, WWE's been talking about the 25th anniversary of somebody who we're both fans of, and
Yes.
is one rated R superstar, Edge, as we know. So our top
The
10
only
this week.
person I still need on my Brood signature
Oh,
picture.
yeah, yeah. So our top 10 is going to be greatest Edge matches, and this is purely subjective on my part. That's I'm sure we'll have some disagreements. There will be no Damon Stryker. There will be no Sexton Hardcastle. This is all Edge,
Dang it.
WWE Edge.
Okay.
Uh, Although Sexton Hardcastle is a phenomenal name.
Isn't it?
It's a great name.
Oh, I loved it.
Yes. All right. So no better place to start than number 10. And going back to 2005, Minders, on Monday Night Raw, we have a street fight between Edge and Shawn Michaels. This is in the build up to WrestleMania. This is the rematch from the Royal Rumble when Edge beat Michaels,
Yep.
and this was the blow off. Michaels got the win, but I love a good come as you are street fight.
Yep.
And it was so good. And this is prime Edge too. This is after he came back from his neck
Yeah.
surgery, but he was really getting his groove as a heel. He just turned heel a few months before this. And
So was this right? Oh, so this was right. Oh, this was. Ooh, okay. I just realized when this was. Okay.
yeah, it was after this match, Michaels got attacked by Angle, and that set up the WrestleMania match
Okay.
for 21.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I think that's a really good one. I don't know if you remember that one or not, Minders, but
I don't. That would have been about the time that I just kind of went back and started watching pay-per-views at that point. I wasn't really watching.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's another one you might not remember then. Vengeance 2004 for our number 9. Edge versus Orton for the Intercontinental Championship.
I do remember this one.
Okay, this is the one where Orton dropped the title to Edge.
Yep.
Man, the pay-per-view wasn't great. There was a lot of stickeroos on this
No.
pay-per-view. This and the Benoit Hunter match were the two prizes, I think.
Yes.
And but this one, I mean, I don't give star ratings like Uncle Dave does, but I give this one an A plus if I was to grade
Yeah.
it. A great action shot here too. Edge doing the missile drop kick off the top rope.
I was trying to think. Yeah, wasn't it on SmackDown not too long ago that somebody made a comment that, man, what if Edge and Rey Mysterio would have ever been a tag team?
Oh, I didn't hear that. But
Did you hear? I'll have to look it up. I think they had it on. I think I saw it on Botchamania. But
oh
yeah.
god,
So just going back, I'm like, yeah, dude, you weren't
I've seen
watching, were you?
we saw them at a house show. I think you were at the same
Yeah.
house show as me, weren't you? In
Mm-hmm.
02? It was Edge and
Mhm.
Mysterio against the Guerreros. Awesome main event.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's the first one that might get a little bit of side eye from you, Menders. Not because it's
Okay.
on the list, but because of where it is on the list.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
TLC 1
Are you
from
serious?
SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
TLC
Okay.
1. Now they had
I
several
saw. I
TLC
noticed
matches.
it was right.
And
This is
was a
TLC 1, and
really
that's
good.
fine.
I am not a fan of ladder matches in general.
That's what
But
made me a fan of ladder matches. Those ladder matches made me a fan of ladder matches.
in
But now, not so much.
in 2000, you weren't having ladder matches every other week, so they were still
No,
special.
you weren't. They were.
And this was
It was a
the
main
rematch.
attraction match.
This was the rematch from WrestleMania, the Triangle Ladder match, and
Mhm.
yeah, just really solid. And this is back
So
when I
good.
could tolerate the Hardys. Always loved the Dudleys,
Right.
and then Edge and Christian. You know, I love them as heels. They were such shitty heels in the best way. At the
The
pose,
5-second pose.
Oh goodness, yeah. But
I love Edge and Christian.
yes. All right. Well, that was number 8. Was that TLC 1?
Yes,
Number
that was
7.
8.
Yes, number 7. WrestleMania 22, the hardcore match with Mick Foley, also
Isn't this the
called
one that Mick hated, though?
Is it? It's the one where
Mick did
it's the
not
one where he
like
went through the
this
flaming
match.
table.
Yeah, Mick hated this match. He said
Yeah,
it was one of the worst matches he ever had. And it wasn't because
don't
of
know.
Edge. It was not because of Edge. It was just because of the condition that Foley was in.
Okay, yeah, I get it. It was, they made it work. Edge did a hell of a job in that match,
He
especially.
did.
The
They-
flaming table was insane. Uh, I like
The
Joey Styles.
song.
I wish JR would have been calling that match.
Yeah.
He was there. It's just Joey
He was
just
there,
did
but he
that one
wasn't calling
match.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey did that one match. A lot of plunder, as we know, a lot of fuckery. Uh,
Well,
barbed
what
wire,
else do you get in a
Socko,
hardcore match?
Barbie,
I was
all
gonna
that
say.
stuff.
Yeah.
I liked the beginning. You see him in the gray flannel here. That's where he had the barbed wire wrapped underneath him with another flannel on when
Mhm.
Edge speared him. So that was a
Yeah.
nice little sneaky touch there. But yeah, I always like that
Perfect.
match. I feel almost guilty that I put it on there if Mick doesn't like it, but I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Mick didn't like it too much. I can't remember what I heard him say that on, but it was something I heard him. He
Might have been his
was
podcast,
no,
or
might
maybe
have
one
been
of his
a
one man
podcast.
shows.
Yeah, it might have been one of his his pops, cheap
Yeah,
pops when he did
yeah,
cheap pops.
yeah. I remember that. All
But
right, let's move on to number 6. Happier times here. Just a couple years ago, the match was Seth at
no, that was a
SummerSlam.
good. Yep,
That was the best match of the night on that pay-per-view.
it was. It was one that I was surprised at how good it was actually, because I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it. I really wasn't.
I was curious if Edge could hang with Rollins, to be honest with you,
Exactly.
and he
That was my
did, and then
concern.
some. Yeah.
Yes.
Now look at that! Look at that
'Cause
picture.
it's
It's like
great. I
Edge
love it.
wanting to murderize him. But all right. Number 5. This actually might be my TLC matches aside. This might be my favorite ladder match ever. No Mercy '99 with the Hardys.
Yeah.
The one where they were
Wasn't
fighting for Terry in this
I was gonna
match.
say, wasn't that for Terry? Yeah.
Yeah, the Terry Invitational Tournament, or TIT. Wink, wink.
Yeah. The tit tournament.
And the big bag of money up at the top of the ladder.
Yep.
Uh, this is back when the Hardys were like, I actually liked the Hardys in '99 because they were different.
Yeah.
They were exciting and they were healthy.
Yeah.
And
Weren't botching everything.
this was the first time I saw Jeff do that like split-legged leg drop off over the top of the ladder when he would do like which I thought
Yep.
was crazy looking. I don't know how he still had a tailbone after doing that move, however many times he's done it.
He doesn't. That's why he doesn't do it anymore.
Well, that's true. But yeah, it was definitely a spot fest, but it's really the
You
match
know
that
what?
made these guys stars, though.
What was like you said though too. Back then, they were special attraction matches. You didn't see them every week.
I don't
It
think they
wasn't.
had one for over a year. I want to say, or no,
Yeah.
not quite a year. I think Rock and Mankind had one on Raw once in '99, but other than that, it had been since SummerSlam with Rock and Helmsley. So
Yeah.
it's still an attraction back then. Now it's
It
just
was new.
another match. Yeah,
New and different.
yeah. And these guys, like I said, this is the match that made all these guys stars, and you know, not
The
much more you can
first one
say
that
about it.
started it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's move on to number 4. Man, I love this match. I've kind of hated putting it lower here, but the ones that went above it needed to be above it.
Gotcha.
SmackDown 2002 against Eddie Guerrero. This was the match on TV. They'd had a couple pay-per-view matches before this, but this match was a no DQ, and I know lazy booking, but man, it was so good. I mean, how can it not be good with Eddie Guerrero in it?
Right. Exactly.
And I know you love Edge,
That's
but
one.
Eddie's my guy.
Oh, I know. Well, the thing is, wasn't Eddie was a heel at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was still a heel.
Because Edge is still in face gear there.
Yeah,
So
this is when Edge was like the SmackDown mega baby face at this
yeah.
point.
So I would have hated Eddie at this point.
Oh, you didn't love heels yet?
No, I didn't love heels yet.
No, I always liked Eddie. He's such a sneaky heel. But that match was so good. I think it might still be on YouTube somewhere. But they did spots off the ladder. Uh, they did all kinds of crazy shit on that match, and Edge wound up getting the win and ended the feud in that match. And then I think he went on to challenging for. No, this is when they went into the tag team division when they started the
I would
SmackDown
say
tag titles.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah. But yeah, it's so. I definitely recommend that one if you can find it on YouTube. Number 3, we got to have a WrestleMania match with The Undertaker on here.
I wondered where this one was going to be at.
Yeah, this is my number 3. Now, this might be my favorite Edge gear, the camouflage with the red star on it.
Yeah,
I'm a gear mark, as you know.
I know.
A really
Was
good
this
match.
his last one?
No. This was the one in 08 when
Oh, okay.
the one in Florida. It's the one where Cardona and Myers tried to interfere on his behalf.
Oh, yes. The Edgeheads.
Yeah. Also notable, Edge's first loss at a WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were
Well,
both
yeah,
technically
that
undefeated.
would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Streak
no,
versus
really good match.
streak.
I think, with the exception of the Michaels matches, that's probably my favorite Undertaker WrestleMania match. So just
I could see that.
all right, number
I could see
2,
that.
TLC with John Cena. I put this on there. This is far and away his best singles feud ever was with Cena.
Yes. Yes.
And another TLC match, but this was the one where Cena lost. He had to go to SmackDown.
Yep.
So I honestly wasn't sure if Cena was going to go to SmackDown because it kind of made sense for him to go.
Was that one in
If
Boston or was that one in
that was in
Canada?
Toronto, that was one
That
in
was in
Canada.
Toronto. So yeah, so Edge lost. Yep.
Yeah, because Edge beat Cena in Boston at SummerSlam,
Right.
and then Cena beat him in Toronto.
Yep.
A really good match. One of my favorite Cena matches of all time. Yeah, AJ chiming in front of Edge's hometown. Yep, damn right.
Yep.
Although now he lives in Asheville, North Carolina, in the mountains, which is very, very scenic there. So
It's
can't knock him
beautiful
for it.
there.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Well, Menders, we're to our number 1 here. Are you ready?
Okay.
I bet you know what
I
it is.
better
I
not
bet you know what
side-eye
it is.
you.
All right.
Probably. It's probably my favorite match too.
TLC
That
2,
would be it.
WrestleMania 17, and I had to use this picture
Yeah.
because craziest high spot I think I've seen Edge do. Edge basically DDT'd himself on that spear.
Yep.
The camera work
And
was
knocked out Hardy
spectacular.
too.
Yeah, the camera work on this was so cool how they got it. It was a little overbooked with Rhino and Spike and Lita interfering.
It made sense though.
It did make
It
sense.
did make sense.
It made
It made
sense,
sense.
but
I'm
and
okay
just
with
the crowd.
overbooking if it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the crowd at the Astrodome was white hot for that match. Probably that was one of a trifecta of really good matches on that show, along with Taker and Triple H and Austin and The Rock, despite the finish of the Austin match.
Right. AJ,
Honorable mention. Yeah, it was kind of a short match though. That's why I didn't put it on there. But it was a big deal. I remember popping when I heard that he cashed in. I didn't watch the pay-per-views back then. I didn't have money. So I put it on Raw the next night and I saw him cash in. And then of course he held it for 3 weeks, dropped it back to Cena because that's what they
Yeah.
do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
There's 2 other matches that came to mind when you told me what the top 10 was, and I
Oh,
didn't
yeah?
figure you'd pick them. I didn't
Oh,
figure
yeah?
you'd pick them because
Okay.
one of them isn't a great match, but the story that led up to it was great, and that was Hardy. It was when Matt and Edge went at it because of Lita.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, I liked the cage match that they had.
Yeah. That was
Of,
that
of
was when they finally pulled shit together and said, "Hey, we can make money."
yeah.
But the
Well,
one before that was
the one at
terrible.
SummerSlam, I think, didn't Matt get knocked out
Yeah.
at SummerSlam and they had to stop the match or something? But the cage match was excellent. And then Street Fight they had after that was really good too.
And
Or
then
no,
the
I'm sorry, the Street
other
Fight was before the cage match because that's why
before
they
the
had to
cage
do the
match.
cage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other match was it was in St. Louis, and I can't remember which one it was, what pay-per-view it was. But it was when Christian turned heel on Edge, right after Christian turned heel, and Edge had the
Oh,
Intercontinental Championship.
Unforgiven, I believe it was. No, that was
Was it
Pittsburgh.
Unforgiven? No,
Unforgiven's the
Kurt
one where
Angle,
Christian beat him for the belt,
right.
and then Angle
Kurt
beat
Angle
Austin
was
for
on
the
it.
WWE.
And I remember because some of my friends went down. They were in like the fourth row, so we waved at, or like they were waving at it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was Christian and Edge in a ladder match, and
Oh, that's No Mercy.
No Mercy. That's it. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
No
that's
Mercy.
the one where Jericho beat The Rock, and they had the three-way with
Yes.
Van Dam and Angle and Austin.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was a damn good ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
But the concerto on top of the ladder kind of made me cringe when I saw it, though.
A lot of those made me
little
cringe.
stiffy.
And then of course
Yeah.
when he won, King of the Ring.
Of course.
When he
yeah.
beat Angle for King of the Ring.
Yeah.
That was a little overbooked.
A little, but just a touch.
Stuff.
Shane-O,
Yeah.
But that match was to build to Shane and Angle later on in the street fight.
Which is actually what turned Christian against Edge.
What? Oh yeah, the trophy.
Because Kurt beat Christian. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And actually he had Kurt beat, but Shane interfered.
Shane-O interfered. Yep, I remember. I love that pay-per-view. I watched the whole thing.
Oh, I do too. I love it. I watch it all the time.
Taker just beating the shit out of Paige.
Yep. I'm begging you, Taker, make me famous.
That was my favorite Undertaker for a reason, because he just walked out, just looking at Paige, just pulled his gloves out of his pocket, just taking his time, because he knows Paige ain't going anywhere, and then gets in and just beats the ever piss out of him. That's good stuff. All right, well, Minders, that concludes our Top 10 Tuesday. What do you say we pay some bills and get out of here? Because we've been going for just over 3 hours.
Let's do that.
All right. I've kind of tweaked the graphics a little bit here, so let's hope it works.
Are they still in a circle?
They are, but
okay.
Not just that. All right, so starting off, ProWrestlingTees.com/JTRPod. Took away the background there. For some of the Jumping the Rail t-shirts, and there you see them. There's some of the new ones. Got the JTR Crew, House Fights, Independent Wrestling Matters, the Bump Card shirt, the Podigy, Get Your Shit and Move, and Tony's Florida Style Fast Food Booking, just to name but a few. Reasonably priced, just to like $20, $22. So, some of them are even as low as like $16 if they don't have a back design on them.
Yep.
So go check that out. And also brainbustertees.com/other/JTR-podcast-network. And you can get t-shirts, hoodies.
I'm so proud.
I know, right? And I didn't cough.
I know.
There on the right side, you got some of our new ones. You got Giddy Mindy. You got our 01 Shootout shirt. There we got a Minders shirt with 2 spoons because you like to stir the pot. Do you have your spoon handy there, Minders?
I don't. My poor spoon didn't make it very far last Thursday, so I gotta do some touch up.
I got you. Well, you can get a shirt with Minders with 2 cross spoons under her head on Brainbuster Tees, and then also we got our Heart Foundation tribute shirt at the top there with the kind of our nod to their logo, and then you can get t-shirts, hoodies, baseball shirts, caps, stickers, fanny packs, all kinds of good stuff there. So go check that out. And tomorrow night on the 01 Shootout, we'll be talking to the 01 USA Tag Team Champions, the Premier, SK Bishop and Campbell Stoop Myers. And I'm
excited.
And I think this Friday we will be doing another Gold Rush episode. I got to check with Bari, our co-host, and keep up with our social medias. Facebook, you can check us out on Jumping the Rail, or if you want to check out other shows, each show has a Facebook page, 01 Shootout or Gold Rush. And then Twitter at JTR Pod, Instagram at JTR Podcast Network. And we always have stuff up there for discussions or whatever, so check that out. Subscribe, like us, follow, anything you do on social media, because I'm not real savvy to it. And yeah, and we hope you have a nice Independence Day next Tuesday. If we can find a day, we'll try to pick a day to do a special episode and hammer out the rest of this list. But if not, you'll have to wait a couple weeks.
We might be able to work Monday. Can you do Monday?
I think we can do Monday as long as it's Well, I don't know. Are you off Monday? I don't know why we're having
I'm
this
not.
discussion on air.
Yeah, right.
We'll,
Let's
we'll,
go ahead and let's finish
we'll
this.
hammer it
Let's
out.
finish out the
We'll
show.
hammer it
We'll
out
hammer
off
it
air.
out.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close it up. So until next time for Menders, this is Rev. Remind you all, life is hard, work stiff, and we will see you later.